to the remote. Cliff is doing a show at 9 today. Edward will be here to help out with the phones and stuff.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So do we have to record stuff afterwards? Because if we do, I got to get out of here because I got to take my son to camp. And so I literally got to jump out of here.
All right. Promo for tomorrow. The only thing we've got is Amisha, and we got Next Level Health. But I'm not, Next Level Health you don't put in the promo. And your commentary. And I wanted to record the commentary today, but we're going to have to do that tomorrow, the promo. Okay?
Wipes.
Wipes? I think they're behind you. Are they up there? Yeah.
Go.
Please. Beaches, Riverwalk.
Do we know about anything about the Riverwalk?
Well, there's stories in both papers about it. I mean, like Charles said, it happened at one something in the morning. But as soon as I heard it, I was like, "Ooh, Riverwalk shooting! That might as well be on Michigan Avenue." You know what I mean?
Where can we be safe? Dang, in a bathing suit. You can't even go to the beach in a bathing suit without getting... That is pretty deep when you think about it.
All right, and some people drowned in the lake, too.
Let's see. Social media question of the day.
Okay, guys, we're off June 19th, right? Next
off
Monday.
what?
We are off next Monday.
Really?
Yeah, special programming all day. Juneteenth, free your mind.
And your ass will follow.
It's a big deal. What we're doing.
Is that Ernest's Day?
Yeah. And then Cliff is coming on right at 9 o'clock today.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What's the story there?
Men's Health Week at COMED over on 43rd and Berkeley. He does a show there every year to kick off Men's Health Week.
Oh, that's why you bug.
Yeah. They come in and dump a bunch of cash at us to go out there for 3 hours. So we do not refuse. We're a great partner once a year.
All right, so wait. We got... What other okay, Robin Kelly is at...
7:30 to 8. The only thing that's kind of loose and open is 8:30.
6.
And your options, I think, are either Puerto Rico or police oversight.
So 6 is Annette and Beaches. 6:20. Yes,
I think the point you make about them not, there's no way in hell they're going to let 2 more Democratic senators into the...
Not now. Now, if this was the Obama administration, it'd be totally different.
2 more Democratic
Well, you'd also
senators
have
in the
to
way.
have... you need a constitutional amendment.
Part of the problem is low interest because only 23% voter turnout.
Yeah, but you get that sometimes nationally.
From what I understand, things are really effed up down there.
Oh yeah, I was down there this year.
Oh, is your wife from there, right?
She's from there.
Yeah.
Right.
And Monique Carradine, who lives down there, who used to work here, I talked to her. She lives down there, and
she lives down there now.
Yeah, she has for the past few years.
Yeah, we went down there looking for houses earlier this year.
Yeah.
My wife and I. And these are great deals, but you don't know.
8 o'clock was what?
What's going to happen?
Ice.
It's who?
Ice Cube. 8 o'clock.
Fine.
8:30. I penciled in Puerto Rico or police reform.
Police reform is probably more topical.
Yeah. Okay, let me go type this up for you. Maze, try to hit this at least once an hour. You know what the WVON Blue Light Foundation is?
No.
It's the new chair to offspring here at WVON here.
Everybody, no more sleeping in bed. No more backwards thinking, time for thinking ahead. Well, it's changed so very much from what it used to be. There's so much hatred, war and poverty. Oh. Wake up, all teachers, time to teach a new way. Maybe then they'll listen to what you have to say. They're the ones who's coming up, and the world is in their hands. When you teach the children, teach them the very best you can. The world won't get no better if we just let it be. Na 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 na. The world won't get no better. We gotta change it, girl, just you and me. Wake up, all the doctors, make the old people well. They're the ones who suffer and who catch all the ill. They don't last for very long before their judgment day. So won't you make them happy before they pass away? Wake up, all the builders, time to build a new land. I know we could do it if we all lend a hand. The only thing we have to do is put it in our minds. Surely things will work out. They do it every time. The world won't get no better if we just let it be. Na 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 na. The world won't get no better. We gotta change it, just you and me. Good morning, Chicago. Good morning, world. This is the WVON Morning Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my main man, Charles Thomas. Charles, how you feeling, man?
Man, I'm feeling pretty good. But you know, I had a tryout last week to be the news guy at WVON in the morning, and I tell you, I got demoted, man.
You didn't get demoted. We just stepped our game up.
Yeah, okay.
We stepped our game up, ladies and gentlemen. You are tuned into the WVON Morning Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Charles Thomas in the building. Our musical director, Sonia Escobar. But ladies and gentlemen, we are excited.
Yes, we are.
To announce that the newsroom is, you know what, we have a consummate radio professional in the newsroom. Ladies and gentlemen, WVON listeners, join us in welcoming Miss Annette Flournoy. Annette, welcome.
Yay!
Charles, Sonia.
Welcome. What is going on? We are excited to welcome you to the WVON Morning Show. Tell us Annette, tell the listeners a little bit about yourself.
Oh,
Just,
they know about me.
But
You know
what? Tell them, give it to them in the perspective from the WVO, because you got a whole new listening audience out here. We got digital, we got social, we got a whole bunch of people. So tell them.
They know me. You know, I've been with WVON since 2005. Back and forth, in and out. I came here from Arkansas. But I'm from Chicago.
Arkansas.
I went to Arkansas. I threw a dart.
That's the only state mentioned in the Bible. Noah went to the edge of the ark and saw.
Wah, wah, wah.
That's a Danny Davis joke. I'm not.
You know what? I can see that. But yeah, I had a great experience there. You know, I took, you know, some Chicago journalism out there, and I did well. But I miss Chicago. And an opportunity became available here at WVON. I could not pass it up. Talked to Melody Span Cooper for the first time about this position back in 2005. And when I met her, she said to me, you know, I don't meet strangers. And that was so compelling to me. We connected right away. And I believed in her vision for this station. I believed in the mission of this station. And I remember the station from, being a child, and my parents listened to the station. So how can I not come here in 2005?
Well, we are excited and happy to have you. We want to welcome you. We want to let you know there's a Lions Den out there. Lions Den, welcome Annette Flournoy to the WVON morning show. Those Lions wake up early, getting ready.
Ooh, are they hungry? Did you feed them?
You know what? We got a congresswoman coming a little later. I don't think she's going to the Lions Den today, though. But we might have to feed the Lions a little bit later. We got an action-packed show for you today. Now, we are going to be... Charles, now Ice Cube came on the show last week and told us he would not give Bill Maher a ghetto pass. Did you see the Bill Maher show this week?
I sure did. I watched it, and he did not give him a pass. In fact, I thought some of the other guests on the panel, they kind of took it easy on Bill Maher until Ice Cube came on and he took him to task.
Ice Cube took him to task, but
he did.
Charles, I thought he did until Bill Maher said he had enough. So we are going to be talking about that in the 8 o'clock hour. We're also going to be talking to Congresswoman Robin Kelly. Will be in studio with, I believe, Sheldon Smith, and they're going to be talking about a new jobs program they have.
Another program to save us from ourselves.
Save us, save us, save us. Congresswoman Robin Kelly will be in the building. Now at 7 o'clock, as we do every Monday, a philosopher. Yes, the scholar. Brother Salim Muwakil will be in the building. Don't forget, we will also be talking our social media question of the day. Charles.
Yes, sir.
The beaches, man.
Oh, man.
What's up with the
beaches? You
beaches?
can't go to the beaches in the summer because these fools out here are going to be shooting at each other. I mean, man, what do we do? Who brings a gun to the beach? Just think about that for a minute. Hey, I'm going to the beach today. Where's my...
When I think about going to the beach, Charles, I always think about I don't have a place to put everything. I'll be like, where am I going to put my keys?
Yeah.
Where am I going to put my money? Where am I going to put all my personal items? Now, when you leave to go to the beach, where do you say, okay, and now I'm going to pack my gun?
My gat. Where am I going to pack my gat? I mean, what's going on?
Charles,
what is the thought pattern that leads to this? And isn't there somebody out there who's saying, hey, my brother, these are going to be families out here, children, don't even think about it. But they clearly are thinking about it.
So these programs that Robin Kelly is going to talk about is very timely because this is what's necessary. You're right. Who brings a gun to a beach? But that's the mentality that we're dealing with, and we have to face that. We have to look at that and come up with some solutions for that. But,
Annette, I think at some point somebody has to tell these young men not to do that it's wrong. And they're not. I don't think they're getting that information. And wherever they are in this world, whether it's virtual, online, social media, whether it's face-to-face, it's probably in social media, actually, where we have to start teaching there that you don't do this. Because they aren't getting it at home, obviously.
Well, check it out. I think it's more than just the beach. I mean, when you think about the fact that we had 34 shootings this weekend, and 4 people killed. I mean, we having shootings on the Riverwalk.
Yeah.
That might as well be Michigan Avenue. Where are you safe?
But did you notice that on that shooting at the Riverwalk, they immediately came out with an advisory. This was not a random shooting. These were people that knew each other, or they were fighting over a woman or something like that. Don't be afraid to come to the Riverwalk. They made that so clear on that Riverwalk shooting, which they did not do on the 31st Street beach shooting.
Well, you know what, Charles? We're going to talk about that when we come back on the Talk of Chicago. It is 6:17. Up next, traffic and weather. We'll be back.
More of the morning show with Maze Jackson coming up on the Talk of Chicago, 1690.
Good morning, y'all. Right, let's see who we got out here. Let's get it cracking. All right, ready?
3, 2.
What's up, Chicago? It's your man, Maze Jackson, and we are getting ready to kick it off with the social media question of the day. Social media question of the day. Man, you know, you hear about people getting shot in the neighborhood. You hear about them getting shot in the restaurant. But now you getting shot at the beach. You know, I was just thinking, me and Charles and I were talking about this. When you get shot at the beach, where did they pack the gun? Now, that's not the social media question of the day. The social media question of the day is, if you can't go to the beach, where can you go on the south side to have safe fun? Where is it safe for black people to go kick it in the city of Chicago, particularly on the south side? Give us a call, 773-591-1690. Post to Facebook, and we will get your comments on the air. It is the social media question of the day. Peace out. All right, y'all. So, seriously, though, sneak peek, social media question of the day. If you can't go to the beach, where can you go to have fun on the south side, y'all? And safe. And I tell you, I kicked it at the Dan Ryan Woods, though. I went out to the MPHC event, and it was off the chain. All the black Greeks out there kicking it. See, wasn't no shootings out there. All those young college-educated people kicking it. Let's see who was out there. All right, let's say, what up, JV? What up, DS? What up, Chima? Hey, Commissioner Marcy. What up, Robert? What up, Kenneth Briscoe? What up, Big Brother Kane? Good to see you back. What up, Moni Moan? What up, Chaparral? Chaparral on team. Chaparral is, we're going to have to get you a defense. How many of our listeners, do y'all watch Game of Thrones? Anybody out there watch Game of Thrones? Does anybody watch Game of Thrones? All right. What up, Linda McGill? Good morning. Hey, Cortland Noble. What up, Nanette? Kenneth Elam. What's up, man? Get them trains on time, man. You got time to be watching this show, you better be listening, because we need our trains to get there. Shout out to all the CTA workers out there representing with us. What's up to my beautiful wife, Commissioner Carrie Steele, Dawn Boatman. Dawn, what's up? Dawn, you got to come in when you're in town. Love to get you in on a Friday when we do some of the female comedian stuff. Eric White, what up? Reese Mode. What up, Nate? Good morning, Adrian. What up, Philip Samuels? Hey, Beulah. What up, Merle Pettis? Dennis Evans, what's up, man? What up, Lloyd, representing from Bolingbrook? Wait, Beulah says it was a young lady who did the shooting. Beulah, where you get that? Inbox. Send me an inbox, give me some details. What up, WJ? You know what? Is that Nate Collins' wife? What up? Tell Nate I said what up too. Raymond Hubbard. What up, Ray? Raymond. Excuse me. Lloyd Kerr. Now, I'm just going to tell y'all, though, people been getting shot at 31st Street Beach. People just saying we keeping our beach the way it been. That's all it is. Dwayne Hirsch, what up? What up, Carol Muhammad? What up, Rick Good? What up, Alvin Norton? Nah, you can't be hating, man. I heard, did I hear you say you was butthurt about the old show, but now you love the new show? That's right. Represent with us. Just come on. Just take this ride. We gonna get us free. Now I want to ask, did y'all do y'all homework? I saw a lot of people saying a whole bunch of stuff, but did y'all find out who your alderman was? Not who your state rep was. We gonna do that a little later. Did you find out who your alderman was? How many of you all know who your alderman is? If you know who your alderman is, post it on the feed.
Oh man, she probably hit y'all about it. It was a sister. A young sister that did the shoot.
That's Beulah said that.
Huh?
Beulah said that. Beulah McLeod. She said it.
Really?
Yep.
Somebody else said.
Beulah knows.
Talking about a sister did it? Woo! A gun mall. A young gun mall. Woo! Boy, Negroes is going on. Deep in. Man.
Sleep don't come easy. Girl, please believe me.
Since you've been gone,
Everything's going wrong.
why'd you have to say goodbye? Look what you've done to me. I can't stop
If you are not at Lorraine Dixon Park on July 15th, you will miss that song. That is Rolls Royce. They will be at the Taste of WVON July 15th, Lorraine Dixon Park, right on East 87th Street. Charles, I'm fired up for the Taste of WVON. You telling me it's your rookie year? Is this gonna be your rookie year at the W?
I got such, man, I tell you.
Hey man, you got to get free, man. You know, out here, it's a big, beautiful world out here. 40,000 black people in the park. And you know what the beautiful part is, Charles? No madness, no craziness, nobody, no shooting, no guns, no nothing. Just black people loving on each other. You got to be there. July 15th. Lorraine Dixon Park, Taste of WVON. But Charles.
Yeah, man, you know, we know that the Taste of WVON is going to be a wonderful family-oriented event. Everyone should plan on coming. But I tell you, man, this thing yesterday, I'm hearing from my people on social media that this shooting yesterday at 31st Street Beach, that a young lady, well, I can't call her a lady, but a young female was involved, was the shooter. This is unconfirmed, of course, but we have people who are saying here that they were there, and they are alleging that the shooting was actually done by a young female.
I want to make sure that we're clear that just for the shout out, that this was not at Pier 31. This was not at Pier 31. It's nice black venue. This was down the beach just a little bit. But Charles, I mean, shooting at the beach, I'm already disgusted that there were 34 people wounded and 4 dead this weekend. But when you cannot go to the beach, where can you go? Where does the young black South Side, the beach, Teen Love, you saw Inkwell, they were just talking about Chicago as one of the best beach cities in the country.
Man, I tell you, I don't know. See, a lot of this stuff starts, which I was saying yesterday, it actually last week, that a lot of this stuff starts on social media. A lot of these beefs, people say something to somebody, or somebody writes something on their Facebook page or their Instagram, and it blows up. And when they see the person in the real, then they either want to jump them or shoot them or do bodily harm to them for something that they read about.
I think one of the things we were talking about on perspective of that is that, back in the day, you could say your mama, me and you gonna fight. And the only people that heard about it was the 10 people that were there. But now when you do it on social, it's everybody. So now you've got this audience that's waiting to see what you gonna do. Because I saw what happened. And so it becomes this madness. But I just am back to this beach. And the fact that people went to the beach now, it was 96 degrees on my car thermometer yesterday. Mm-hmm. The beach, 31st Street Beach. Now let me just be clear.
That's the most logical place to go.
Is the beach. You go to the beach, you pack your bag, you roll your stuff, you get all the way over there. You think the beach is safe because everybody's halfway naked.
Right.
Right? You got your shirt off.
You can't hide your piece.
You can't hide nothing. Where else? There's kids, everybody splashing. The black folks ain't going to be too far into the water because, we not swimming that far. But we are going to dip our toe into the water. So, you go at the beach. But I just feel like, Charles, I don't know where to go safely. So, social media question of the day. If you can't go to the beach, where can you go to safely have fun on the South Side? Where? Child, and I'm not suggesting that there aren't, but I sure need you to tell me where. Now, I went to a place yesterday. I went to the MPHC picnic with all the black Greeks. There was no shootings or no violence there. That was at the Dan Ryan Woods.
That was way south.
That was south and west. But you know, when you get that close to west and you're close to Beverly, they not having all that. But where can we go? Where can black folks go on the south side of Chicago to have good, safe fun without the potential of getting...
You know, Maze, I'm being very quiet here because, to be honest, I don't know. I don't know where you would go on the south side and feel totally safe from this gun madness, this fighting, this everybody's walking around at DEFCON 3 stuff. I don't know where you would go. To be honest, I don't. I can't tell you.
WVOM listeners, answer the social media question of the day. Give us a call. Give us a 773-591-1690. Give us a call, 773-591-1690. Post to Facebook. We're going to be talking about this. Where can you go? If you cannot go to the beach, where can you go to have fun on the South Side and be safe?
You know, I have actually gone to church meetings at 78th and Greenwood at my church, New Life Covenant, on the weekend and at night. And going to and from my car, I have like... I'm kind of watching. You know what I mean?
You watching?
I'm watching.
Even on the way to church?
I'm keeping my hand on... Yeah, going to a church, Bible study, or to a church event at night, I got my head on a swivel because I'm watching.
Let's talk about that. We're going to talk about that and much more when we come back. It is 6:30 on the Talk Chicago. Up next, news, traffic, and weather.
News, traffic, and weather. Up next.
I mean, damn though, for real. Where can you go south to kick it where you ain't like where you are not looking all the way to the door, all the way back to the car, and then kind of halfway watching to see if you see somebody suspect walking in. Right. Now, I'm not suggesting, hear me out, I'm not suggesting that there aren't places where white folks congregate where we ain't safe either. But you gonna get a nigga, you might get spit on. You ain't getting shot. Right? You might get spit on, and I'm gonna just tell you, if old boy would have spit on me, he would have been praying for the police to get there. Right? Like that white boy that spit on and caught, when he knocked old boy out, oh yeah, he would have been, we would all, that would have been a gang whooping, because we would have all had to get a piece of that. But my point is, where do you go where you walk up and down the street where you feel like you ain't looking at the people like, what y'all got, Facebook? They did have a nice big brawl at North Avenue Beach. I'm going to just tell you, I don't go to the beaches. I don't go to a lot of places where it's drunk white people, right? But even at the case of drunk white people, there's a difference between getting into a brawl, and I'm happy to get into a brawl because I think I can make it out of it. A shooting, you just don't know if you're making it out. I mean, seriously. I love Renaissance, right? I love the black establishments, and I think we have to frequent them. But I ain't gonna lie and tell you I don't be looking like, where can I go hear my music safely? Give us a call, 773-591-1690. Pastor Moss says people shoot others because they hate themselves. That's fine, but dang, they still shooting other people, man. You know, like, bull, he didn't apologize. Bill Maher was on some BS. What up, May? It was good seeing you yesterday. What up, Kevin Brown? I felt safe at Brewfest too. But give us, so if there are good things that you feel safe at, tell us. I mean, this doesn't have to be gloom and doom. Tell me the places to go that we know where we did feel safe. Brewfest did feel safe, but I also think, like, is it an age thing? Like, right? Like, can you just not go where young people are going to be? Because it's not that I feel unsafe going into a lounge or a bar. Inside of it, I feel unsafe going to and from mostly. Right? Or if the crowd, it just depends on the...
How does Hyde Park? Is Hyde Park cool? Can you walk around Hyde Park, around Harper Court, around 53rd Street at night and feel safe?
If you white.
If you white. Why would... So they only gonna stick up somebody black?
For the most part.
Really? Wow.
I mean, do they...
That's a good one.
I mean, do you stick up? I mean, they do stick up. I mean, I don't think that they stick up white folks like they stick up black folks.
Oh, no. No, they don't stick up.
Because they know that the APB will be out. Mm-hmm. So, y'all, where can we go safe on the South Side? Tell me where. Shit. Shucks. I'm sorry. I mean, I think about it because I'm not even... I feel like I'm very much a... I feel like I'm very much not a scaredy cat. But, man, I do feel different when I'm chilling on the south side and the west side and when I'm chilling, depending on how far south or how west. Are you safer the closer you get into the city? Obviously not at 31st Street, huh?
Is that your commentator? Is that your
Bud
commentator?
Billiken's been pretty safe, right?
Is that your commentary?
I'm trying to hear it.
Bill Maher?
Yeah. And if you could leave the word nigga in it, it would be great. Okay, so Carol says they stalk students near USC. Yeah, but the students getting stalked near UFC most of the time are the black college students stalking the white college students. It might be, because, see, in college, there's a, okay, from what I've seen or know in college, at U of I, the white kids that got stuck up were not usually getting stuck up by townies. They were getting stuck up by black students. Right? Because the black students knew when all the stuff came and all the checks and all that you did, and they knew they was the white kids had big, rich, fat allowances. Raymond Hubbard said the beach on Avenue G is safe. Man, that beach is dope down there too. Super dope.
Where is that?
The beach at Avenue G, like way south. Man, it's some stuff. You know, it's some stuff in the city. You be like, they hiding stuff. They just be hiding stuff in the city of Chicago sometimes. Let's see. It's a culture of violence in the city. I never drop my guard anywhere either, said, but I do feel let me just tell you, it's a lot different sitting outside on Randolph as it is sitting outside on 47th Street. Right? You got a way higher propensity. We back. Whoa. You are tuned in to the Talk of Chicago 1690 AM. I am your host, Maze Jackson. Got my main man, Charles Thomas. My co-pilot, got Sonia Escobar as our musical director, and welcoming our news anchor, Annette Flanoy, in the building. Now, Charles, before we went to break, man, I was just trying to figure out the social media question of the day. If you can't go to the beach, where can you go on the south side to have fun and be safe?
You know, as long as we have kids, children, young people out there who are beefing with each other to the point where they would attempt to take one another's lives, we have to begin to work on messaging to these young people to tell them that this is not the way to resolve disputes. Now, I know that sounds pie in the sky, but there are ways using social media to target the young black people who are involved in all this mayhem. And we should be using social media to do that. To actually, we know who they are through the whole algorithms bit, you know, the whole notion of who's signed up for Facebook and Instagram and all that. We should be able to target young black people between the ages of 16 and 24, for instance, and message them that this is not the acceptable behavior. And we're not doing that. We'll spend $140 million, pledge that, to hire 1,000 more cops. But we won't take 10 million of that and maybe hire 900 cops, but use that 10 million to message these young people.
But I think the question becomes, who's credible enough to message these
We can
young
find
people?
that. I'm not the psychologist. I'm not the person that can develop the program or say what's in the message. But it seems like we have to take a different approach than just hiring more cops, because the cops just can't be everywhere, and we have to get with this behavior where it starts in these young people who think that the only way to resolve a dispute is by killing somebody. That is, I don't know where that came from.
You know, I guess at 16, I am concerned that where does this ability to kill at 16, 17 years old come from? Where is this rage? Where is this hate? Where is this anger? Let's go to the live lines and see what the callers have to say. Juanita, you're on the Talk of Chicago 1690.
Good morning. How are you?
Great. How are you? Thanks for listening.
Fine, thank you. I was listening to Pastor Moss yesterday evening on the radio, and he said the only reason why a person would pick up a gun, a black person would pick up a gun to kill another black person that looks like you, is that we have been taught to hate. This is what it is. And this teaching of black people to hate one another, this is exactly what it is. He said that on the radio.
And I think she's right. I think we have to unteach or teach something new. And how do we do that? Well, we go to where the kids are. They're on social media. They aren't on television. They really aren't on radio either. You're not listening. We need to teach them where they are on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, those places, and start messaging the people that we need to message.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're on the Talk Chicago 1690 AM. Let's go to the live line. Chaparral. Is that our Chaparral from the Lion's Den?
It is, Maze. Thank you so much for taking my call. Good morning, guys. I wanted to tell you guys that I think the problem is that North Avenue Beach is oversaturated with police. I actually watched the video of the people being shot on Facebook yesterday, and it took forever before the cops actually arrived to the scene. So when you think about where is the protection with CPD, so I think that they hold some responsibility in this also of controlling the crowds. North Avenue Beach, once it gets too full, they close off the entrance to the beach. So what was going on? Where was CPD in all this? So I think that even though that we have this high crime in Chicago, we have to put that onus on CPD. We cannot let them get away with just giving us half-butt coverage on a nice sunny day. We need to be protected, and we deserve to be protected just like any other race group in Chicago. Our areas are undersaturated with the coverage of police, where you see that the downtown and the white affluent areas are oversaturated with police and protection. And we're not getting the same protection that our tax dollars are paying for.
Thank you, Chappelle. We appreciate you calling in. So, there's a police issue, but how we're in a catch-22. So if you turn the police loose on the black kids and they shoot the kid who had the gun, then we're going to be protesting another police shooting. I don't believe that the police can protect black people from black people.
And protect us from our own children.
Right. Where's the mama? Now I'm starting to believe we might have to start spreading some of this. Your mama, you got Killer Joe do they not know?
I guess they don't. But I mean, we know. And so it's our responsibility then to step in. We're going to have to, because we don't want the shooting and what it's doing to our community and the city at large. So we have to step in as a city and do what these parents aren't doing, because we cannot tolerate this shooting. I mean, this violence is just out of control.
I mean, come on, man. It's the beach. Ladies and gentlemen, when I was a kid, bro, when my parents said we were going to the beach, now, when I used to go to the beach, there was those dead fish floating. I don't know if you remember when we had that wave of dead fish. Mm-hmm. But we would go to the beach, and it was the highlight of our week. Like if they got off work and said, okay, we're going to the beach, you thought that was just the biggest deal ever. And to take that away from kids, like where are we that we cannot go to the beach? Where can we go?
We are wallowing in self-hate, as the caller pointed out, self-hatred. And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad dealt with this whole notion of self-hate, and to love oneself first before you can really, we have to learn self-love.
Charles,
and how do we do that?
And I think, like, as the resources come to the South Side, right, as we start to get, because right there at 31st Street, there's a nice place to hang out and to kick it, and they play live music, and it's a wonderful place for black folks to hang out. And now we got people shooting right down the street. I mean, look, blocks away. How does it impact the black businesses and the people that do want to come there? Let's go. You know what? I'm gonna go to the live line. Michael, you're on the Talk Chicago.
Hey, how you doing?
Great.
I don't understand why we are surprised when our children act out in what would be considered not the norm. We have decades, almost. Our children, a lot of them are neglected. A lot of them have been physically and sexually abused. A lot of them have one parent struggling doing two jobs because of mass incarceration. When we don't just need police, we also need psychologists. We also need public policy decision makers who understand that children need to be protected. Children need to be talked to. Children need to be dealt with, need to be raised. I mean, when we look right here in the city, the Boys Club right on the west side is getting ready to close down. You rarely hear anything about it. Where are these kids going after school? We're dealing with a situation where our kids, the education is dealt with. We're in the most segregated city in the country. And anybody that doesn't understand that public policy has segregated our resources that would repair and heal our community clearly don't have a clue. That's my comment.
Michael, I appreciate your comment. I think there's a lack of resources, but who do we hold responsible?
Us.
Who do we hold responsible? I mean, it seems like we're looking for somebody to point to. And at some point, we got to say, all we got is us. Now, I know the phone lines are lit up, and so we're going to go to your calls when we come back. But you are listening to Talk Chicago. It is 6:47. Up next, traffic and weather.
More of the morning show with
Sonya back there trying to double tap. These phone lines lit up. Can we start back with the brother nod? When I was in college, right? we did not walk past a black person without acknowledging them, right? Because we knew it was us against them. We always, we used to be at straight odds with people on the campus. But when you walked on the campus, you just did this.
You can still find a brother nod in America, in towns where we are
not liberated.
We have a small minority. We have a smaller minority. You still find the brother nod. If you go to Iowa, you go to Des Moines, you're going to get a brother nod. You go to, what's the campus there in Des Moines? Drake, is it that?
Oh, yeah, Drake.
Yeah, you get a brother nod. You go to Peoria, you get a brother nod. In Peoria, Illinois. In Decatur, you get a brother nod. You don't get a brother nod in Chicago anymore. Everybody mad at each other. DEFCON 3. Ready to go to DEFCON 2, which means they're going to get their stuff. DEFCON 1 is pulling the trigger. DEFCON 2 is going to get it. DEFCON 3 is just being mad all the time. And we got a lot of people walking around mad. Because they're mad, I don't know, I guess they're mad at the situation. They're mad because you're black. But we got to dial this back. We got to dial this anger piece back, man.
Well, we got to redirect it. Because we got some stuff to be upset about.
Social media has made the anger piece worse because you pointed out why, which very eloquently. But we got to dial it back.
I was just wondering if we could start just the Brother Nod campaign. Like, can we, just the people just to start it. Just to nod at people and acknowledge them. And it may not be everybody right away, because people gonna look at you crazy. And when you do it and a person ignores you, they're gonna think about it when they walk by, because they're gonna be caught off guard. When you see a brother, you start to get tense. You start to get your face and you start to go to war mode. But if the ones of us that want to move us forward could just not go to war mode, but just start just a nod, right? It's gonna make, and I'm telling you, people are gonna look at you and they're gonna say, right? Cause you get to busy and you moving and you get your war mode, but you walking downtown and you see a brother and it's gonna get annoying and you gonna be like, damn. But I'm just telling you, it's gonna crack, right? Because we have got to not see each other as enemies. And so can we right here with our crew start with the brother nod? Just brother or sister nod, just an acknowledgement. Brothers, if you see a sister, if you have the opportunity to talk, not to be on no Mac stuff, but yes, sister, if you have the opportunity to show courtesy to your brothers and sisters when you do. I'm just saying, can we try? Right? Can we try to show courtesy to our brothers and sisters? But I'm telling you, if you just start nodding at people, it's going to crack them. And the next time, they might not go the first time, but they're going to go the second time and they're going to smile. And they're going to do it to somebody else. Imagine if every time you looked at a black person, you didn't look at them and they wasn't just mad. They wasn't just like you was the break in their day. Because they're going to remember it. And if they don't acknowledge you, they're going to feel like crap later for not. Because they're going to be like, why you couldn't just nod back? You just couldn't. Right? Do it. Do it at the job. When you walking through the state of Illinois building, you see a black, y'all know what y'all look like when y'all only two of y'all on the floor. Right? And when you get in a group, celebrate each other in front of people. Don't be like, when I see a black person in any job, I'm always like, I called Apple the other day and said, hey man, I want to talk to a black account executive. Let's start, y'all. Let's just start. Let's just start.
What you just heard, that's why I'm here. This brother got he talking some serious wisdom. That's good. Maze, I like that.
I appreciate
just want to tell you
it.
that.
Thank you, man. We do. Missing you. You are tuned into the Talk of Chicago 1690 AM. Charles, you know what, man? We go.
Man, you just gave the most fantastic speech off camera that I've heard in months. I mean, you did. You talked about the brother nod.
You know,
something we can do for ourselves to stop the craziness.
WVON listeners, you know what? We talked about this, the brother nod, but can we, the WVON listening audience, can we start acknowledging each other? It starts with a very simple nod. You see a black person on the street, whether you know him or you don't know him, give them the nod. They're going to look at you. You know what? Black folks ain't going to be, they not ready yet. But the WVON listening audience, we can start this right here. Let's start acknowledging each other on the street. So when you see a black person, just give them the nod. See, Charles, you know, when we see each other, we start getting into war mode. We put our war paint on. You got your war face. You got to get ready because you know that the brother is ready to take you down.
DEFCON 3. Walking around at DEFCON 3. But you know what that means, right?
Ready.
That means you're ready to go get your stuff. And then at DEFCON 2, that's when you get your stuff. And at DEFCON 1, you try to kill somebody.
And I'm saying, you know what? Let's start acknowledging black folks. Just the nod. I'm not asking you to go all out and jump down and be kumbaya unga with black power. I'm asking you to nod when you see a black person. Now, let me tell you, there are going to be people that's going to look at you crazy. They're going to not nod back, but it's going to cross their mind when they get past you because they're going to think like, wait, he wasn't trying to get me, just gave me the nod.
And how about this? How about on your block, introducing yourself to all the other people on your block? Just hey, my name is so-and-so. I live at this address. Hey, what?
Can we talk to each other?
Yeah.
See, we got to have a conversation with you. We have got to be able to communicate with each other because they rely on us not being able to communicate with each other so that they can keep us torn apart. Let me go to these live lines. Rufus, you're on the Talk of Chicago.
Am I still here?
Yes, Rufus, you are on live.
Yeah, like I said before, when they get teenagers, it's too late. We have to start and give them their childhood back. Starting from 3, 4 years old, we take them to Sunday school, and they learn 10 commandments and learn to be children. When we took Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny away from them, we took their childhood away from them, and children need that.
Well, I'm going to say this. I didn't say we can give them their childhood back, but so we clear. Like they said, you got some freedom in that bag, white man. I'm not telling. Look, I work too hard throughout the year for you to be giving some credit to some fat white man coming down the chimney for my hard work. So I'm not giving them, but I will tell you, we do need to give our kids their childhood back.
So, Maze, you know, you say something real important, your hard work. What I know, another big piece that's missing are jobs. Young people just don't have jobs today. I mean, I think about your first job. How old were you when you had your first job?
14.
That's right. Charles, how old were you when you had your first job?
15.
First legal job.
Right. And my first legal job I had when I was 16. I was 15, but I lied and said I was 16 because that's how badly I wanted to work.
Well, but let me tell you.
But jobs were available.
Well, a lot of people now are lying to take jobs. Young black kids in this city have to understand they are competing with a lot of people.
With middle-aged people from other nationalities.
Middle-aged people from undocumented
That's
workers.
That's right.
And they're having to compete. And if I'm the restaurant owner and I'm hiring a busboy, am I going to hire the 20-year-old man with a family who might be Honduran or Salvadoran or Mexican, or am I hiring a 15-year-old black kid who never worked before?
So you're talking about giving them the nod. Let's give them jobs.
Let's
give them a sense of value. Let them contribute the way they used to. It gives you a purpose.
I think that,
and it takes you off the street.
I think it does. I think
and it helps you contribute to the family.
I think that jobs are awesome, but I think we got to get our people ready for the jobs too.
We do.
I think we have to prepare people for jobs, and I think that goes to the creation of black millionaires who are willing to take the time to develop a black workforce. See, there's been a disconnect. So even as we talk about jobs, and I'm with the whole job concept, I have also been an employer. So I also know what it's like to hire someone who hasn't worked or hasn't seen people work. We got a whole issue.
Well, we also have to understand that the young black teenager brings something to the table too.
Right.
They bring English skills, for instance. When they compete, because they got to understand that they have to compete out there now, and that means they have to be at work on time. They have to be courteous to the customers. They have to learn how to work and compete in a new world order.
And we gotta
you learn that from your first job. You learn those values of just by virtue of having to be somewhere. It gives you that opportunity to be exposed to that, and that's our responsibility. We can't expect them, even as employers, to know. The idea is to teach them. Isn't that what we're talking about? We hire them and we teach them.
I agree, but if I'm a rich white man, why do I invest my time in trying to teach your kids?
Well, we're not talking about a rich white man. We're talking about our own community and doing it ourselves.
But we got to have the businesses. But let me just suggest this very quickly. If we're going to do something along those lines, we've got to make sure that we are prepared to handle our own. When we come back, we'll continue this conversation. Oh, excuse me. Salim Muwakil, the philosopher, will be back when we're on the Talk of Chicago.
WVON.com.
So, she threw me off with that. The issue is, why does if I am a business owner, so there's a dearth of black business, right? So those jobs that you're talking, first of all, you don't learn, and this is what I missed, you don't learn to be on time from your first job. You don't learn to be courteous from your first job.
Why not?
You learn that from your parents. You learn that at home. Now you put it to practice.
But you learn a work environment, you know how to work. And what you do at work and what you do at home are really two different things. You have to have a work ethic.
That comes from home.
Which is different than, it comes from having worked. And learning, that's where you learn the work ethic when you are at work. That's my opinion. And you learn it. So getting a job and doing it.
So I would tell you that there at every job, there are people that take the job to get a check. They have no work ethic and they will do as little as they possibly can to do the job. Right? I just feel like I feel like my work ethic was not birthed at work. My work ethic was birthed because we had to get up at 7 o'clock on a Saturday and get up and cut the grass and do chores.
That's fine. That's good too. But when you went to work and you talk to your boss a hell of a lot different than you talk to your mama or your daddy. Not to say you cussed your mama and daddy out, but at work it was a different type relationship. I don't love my boss. I love my mom. I love my daddy. But I don't love my boss. I have a relationship. Employer, employee with my boss. And that's different than son to father or son to mother. And that you learn that. Our co-workers work together different than brothers and sisters live together. I mean, work ethic, but a lot of our kids, they don't have parents that work. So they learn a work ethic at home.
So, but the kid who's never seen a parent go to work, and you give them a job, guess what? They go to work and they don't want to work.
Right, because they don't.
Because they didn't learn the work ethic at home.
So how do we teach them the work ethic?
You got to start at the crib now, or you start early at school.
Or or you start some other way.
See, we need black school. Just like they got Greek school, just like they got Jewish school, just like they got Chinese school to keep you connected. We need to have some sort of rites of passage, some sort of program that equips you with the basic skills that you need. And right now it needs to be communal because we may not have enough of the tangible examples. I think it's easy to say hire the kids for jobs. But if a kid comes to work and it's going to curse you out. It's going to come smelling like weed. It's going to do all of the things, and his parents let him go out the door like that? I'll give you that. I give you that. I'll give you that. So now, what is...
I'll definitely give you that.
And as a capitalist, right? Not as a social, not as a person with a social mission, right? Just like you said, it ain't your mama, ain't your daddy, I don't love you. All I care about is getting my job done. So if I got to deal with you, who I got to train you to just show up, then I'm going to cut you. I'm not going to spend no time with you. And
Robin Kelly info, and then info on Sheldon, a story from CNN last year. It's a Q&A about his program, okay? Robin, what's Robin doing today? And then a story on Sheldon from last year that CNN did a great Q&A with him about the program he's involved with.
Anyway, I want to encourage you all to nod to each other. But I as a person who has employed hundreds of black youth, you can tell the kids whose parents have brought them up to work.
But you know, those are not the ones, those kids whose parents have brought them up are not the problem. Those are not the ones who are out on the beach shooting. Those are they're fine. They've got parents. I'm concerned about those kids that don't have a work ethic, who didn't learn anything at home. What do we do to save them? Or maybe at 14, 15 years old, they're beyond saving. I don't believe they're beyond saving. I'm not going to give up on them yet. I'm going to try to find a way to intervene in order to get them the skills they need to be able to work as a busboy or a parking lot attendant, or a low-skilled job.
Can I offer that that is all part of an economic cycle, right? So to me, we need to have black businesses that will employ those people, because if I am the average white business owner, I don't have an investment. If I can take my money and go back to Wilmette and never see the stuff that's going crazy about the shootings and just watch it on the news, I'm okay with that. If we have black business people who are willing to invest and take that extra time to develop a black workforce, because you know that we got a bunch of kids.
Maze, let me interrupt you, my brother. A black businessman running a McDonald's, he is going to go hire him some immigrant workers before he's going to hire some black knucklehead teenagers to go work for him. He's going to go to the absolute best worker he can find. So we might try to fix the black teenagers before they go apply for a job, because a black businessman, businesswoman is not going to tolerate this stuff any more than a white one is.
And so my point is, so where do you fix them?
How do you fix them?
Where?
Online, where they are. We got to start intervening, man. We got to go on social media and start talking to them where they are and start teaching them there. Because right now, there's nothing there. There's nothing there but, a lot of foolishness. World star hip-hop, all that kind of stuff. They're not learning anything positive. We should be on their Facebook page with banners, ads, teaching from the time they get on, 7, 8 years old, however young they are. We got to start hitting them then.
I think it's more. I don't think that just hitting them in social media is where it's going to be. I think that you gotta address the fact that there is no, so you tell them to be cool on social media, you address them there, and then you put them in the world, and they still haven't been trained. They still don't have the skills necessary. So now you're telling them, be cool, don't shoot each other.
But they have the information that is wrong.
Yeah,
all they didn't see were a bunch of fights on World Star Hip Hop.
I think that's a simplistic look at it, but
well, I'm a simple guy.
Right.
I'm a simple man.
I think very deeply. I think very deeply.
Did we lose Did we lose your feed?
Huh? What'd you say?
No, we got your, I got the Facebook feed though.
Let's begin. What, where, why, when? In fact, I'm kind of rational. This one or that one, or the black one. Right up to your face and dish you. TT. You are tuned in to the Top of Chicago 1690 AM, and when you hear that sound, so you're a philosopher? Yes. When you hear the yes, that means that we have not only a philosopher, we have a scholar, world-traveled educator, writer, author, the man. Ladies and gentlemen, on the live line, Brother Salim Muwakil to impart knowledge upon us from an interplanetary level. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Salim Muwakil to the WVON Morning Show. Welcome, brother.
Good morning, Brother Salim.
Good morning, Brother Charles. Thank you, Brother Maze, man. It's I was listening to you brothers, man, in your anguish about all this violence that's going on, and it's a real reason for that anguish. You know, we are you know, killing each other off, man. It's fratricide, sure enough, and we gotta get a handle on it, man.
You know, Salim, so we were sitting here debating, and I'm sure because I know you watch the Facebook Live, and I want to encourage you all. You all want to see some real debate. The real show goes on behind the scenes. Catch us on Facebook Live, www.facebook.com/MazeJack, MazeJac, and you can check us out. But Salim, Charles says we got to interact with the kids on social media. Annette says we got to have jobs. I say we got to have black employers to have the jobs, and we got to teach the kids before they get to the workplace. Well, you weigh in, brother.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with all of those things. I mean, and that's one of the dilemmas of this issue is that it's so multifarious. There's so many angles that we could go into that. You know, my position is that we lack as a people. We lack cultural capital. The kind of currency that informs our behavior and encourages the kind of behavioral traits that promote success, like other people do. They develop cultural capital because they've had the opportunity to interact in an autonomous way with their environment. We as black people, we've always been prevented from doing that. Always, from our very beginnings in this country, we have been, you know, socialized for subservience. We really never had the opportunity to develop the cultural capital that others have, because we were diverted to try to distract us, you know, to keep white supremacy at bay. We had to exercise a lot of our cultural energy to keep white supremacy at bay. So we really didn't develop that kind of indigenous cultural capital that allows us to succeed in an environment that's not comforting. That's not, you know, that is adverse to our best interests. And you know, I really think, man, we should be much more devoted to this notion of reparations or compensatory payment, compensatory programs. The responsibility of this government to take care of the problem it created with enslavement and that whole subservient socialization process that we've been victimized by. We can't say get over it. We can't exhort the kind of behavior, you know, the nodding, the brother nod that you're talking about. I mean, where you really felt that was in the service, man. If you were in the service and you went overseas and you saw a brother, I mean, it was like he was your real brother. It was like a fraternal tie, and that's because, you know, we felt that was that was our only link to our well
well-being, our cultural well-being. But in this situation where we find ourselves without resources and toxic environments, children they simply don't know how to act. They simply don't have the behavioral repertoire to translate cultural capital into anything that enables us to, gives us a behavioral cushion, gives us a cushion against a lot of the insults, the environmental insults that we find. For some people, it's been religion. They seek that kind of refuge in religion. One of the reasons that I, in my youth, became a member of the Nation of Islam is because of that very reason. The cultural capital that we lack has to be it has to be enforced by peer group pressure, by cultural encouragement from other people, by authoritative figures who don't let us off the hook when we're doing the wrong thing. But that has to be something that's bought into by a family, by a group, by your community. And if it's not, then it's difficult to enforce that kind of, those kinds of views. And even in the Nation of Islam, Minister Louis Farrakhan has introduced Dianetics into the Nation of Islam because the nation found that even in a group where people are dedicated to self-love and trying to do better for our community, it's difficult because we have been so damaged by our experience in this country that we have these psychological barriers that prevent us from enacting that kind of communal atmosphere, from encouraging that kind of communal atmosphere, the collectivist sentiment, the collectivist sensibility that other folks have with themselves. We just have not had the opportunity to develop it, man. And I think until we do that, until we have some way to develop this cultural capital, some foundation for it, we will be, I'm afraid, in this spiral of fratricide for a long time.
Well, Salim, let's go to the live line because you have obviously gotten the phone calls ringing. Let's go to Charles. Charles, you're on the Talk of Chicago, 1690.
Hello, how you doing this morning?
Good morning.
I totally disagree with all this stuff about cultural capital. This is a spiritual problem that we're having now, and it just came up in the last 50 years. We are not. It's Sunday School 101. Love yourself, love your neighbor, and you're supposed to be your brothers and become your brother's keeper. We have gotten away from that. If your neighbor down the street don't have enough food, and you have some food, you're supposed to go down there and make sure he has something to eat. We are not doing that. And once we get back to that, we will see our situation will change.
Charles, you can't exhort people to, if people are not moved by their own motives, you can't exhort people to love each other. That's something that has to be organic. It has to come out of a sense of community. You simply can't exhort it. Love yourself. It doesn't work, man. Because if there's no reason to love yourself, if people hate themselves, if they look in the mirror and they see a stranger or an alien looking back at them, or someone who they don't, they find little affinity with, then the people who look like them will be regarded in the same way. I hear what Charles is saying, and he's absolutely correct. That's what we need, but you simply can't exhort it into existence. And when you say we've had it in the past, yes, we have had it. All people will develop cultural capital if they have the opportunity. And when black people had jobs, when black people had a kind of regular routine with black children were disciplined by employment. They saw people going to bed early. They saw people getting up in the morning, going to work. That disciplines the community in a way that is important.
Let me stop you right there, Brother Salim, because we have to go to traffic and weather. We'll continue this conversation when we come back. You are listening to the Talk of Chicago. Brother Salim Muwakil. We'll be back.
More of the morning show with Maze Jackson coming up.
That's the conversation right there. All right, y'all. Charles, you got the cameraman.
Yeah, but the question becomes, to me, how do you teach it? How do you teach it? I mean, somebody pointed out there is information on social media that is there already. Yeah, but it isn't working. It doesn't work. You just have to readjust and do it in a different way. I mean, I think a lot of information sources in the community are not being used right now. I mean, you tell me where they are. I mean, you drive down the street, you read the billboards, what do they say? Do they say anything about self-love? Are they anti-self-hatred? No. They sell you liquor, they sell you everything, but they never sell you self-love, do they? So where is the information in our community going? We are on this program talking about self-love, but do you talk about Black Love on Channel 5, Channel 7, Channel 9, Channel 32? And do you hear about it on WGN Radio? Do you hear about it on the Steve Harvey Show? Do you hear about it on the... No, you're not hearing about it. We're not talking about it. We're not teaching it. That's my only point. We have to have a mass approach toward teaching self-love and eliminating this doctrine of self-hatred, because this is spiritual warfare. It absolutely is spiritual warfare. And the righteous right now are laying down. We're being walked on. The righteous are being walked on, and the whole community has to wake up. Has to wake up and has to begin a full-fledged assault on any number of media fronts to teach self-love. That's all I'm saying. That I'm willing, I'm ready to fight. I'm ready to put up the good fight to deal with the issue. And the issue is a spiritual one. We are, I like to say, you know, you talk about a demoralized community. We are a demoralized community. What I would hope happens is an effort to remoralize the community. Remoralize the community to restore the morale of the community and the spirit that was here in the past. As recently as, I hate to go back to the 1980s, but it was here in the 80s. It was here in the 1920s, 30s, and 40s when we were segregated into our own community and we had no choice but to come together and have a morale. But that's what has to happen. We have to remoralize the black community so that we have morale again, so that we have a spirit, so that the Black on Black Love campaign in the 90s, Ed Gardner knew what was happening. Diane Scott writes, Ed Gardner started a Black on Black Love campaign in the 90s. Ed Gardner was a visionary. And definitely, I just think, yeah, it does start at home. It does start at home. But we have to reach some person in each home. We have to make it a community effort. And the effort just can't be confined to the south and west sides of Chicago where we have such pathology. The effort has to go to the region. Because remember, we're not black people who just live on the south and west sides anymore. We're in the west suburbs, the south suburbs. We're in Lake County. We're all over now. We're in Kankakee. We have to somehow get all those different elements, particularly where the black middle class lives, to begin this effort.
You still got a minute. You are tuned in to the Talk Chicago 1690 AM. As we do every Monday at 7 o'clock, we talk to Salim Muwakil, a philosopher, a scholar. You know what, Charles? Salim ran away with that, you know, and he has got the phone lines lit up. So why don't we just, you know what, let's let Salim and his audience have this conversation. Brother Salim, you ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, here we go. Let's go down the line. We are talking to Robert. Robert, you're on the Talk Chicago 1690.
Thanks for taking my call. Are you gentlemen familiar with the Devil's Punch Bowl in Natchez, Mississippi, after emancipation was declared?
Yes.
We are still in the land of our captivity. We are not immigrants, migrants, settlers, or refugees. Our people were declared by Nixon to say that we were going to drugs in the black community and watch it disintegrate. We're going to associate the black community with heroin, the hippies with marijuana, and those kinds of terrorist declarations has imposed a permanent damage where we need psychological reparations, capital reparations in order to correct and heal our communities, which has not been declared, but it has been done for everyone else. The German people who came here as Jews, anyone who came here as immigrants, migrants, or refugees, and we have not been afforded that. We came here as involuntary slaves, victims. We're still victims, and that has not been declared.
Thank you, Robert. Salim?
Yeah, other immigrant groups, they often succeed where African Americans fail. They jump over us in their quest for the American dream because they come with cultural capital. Cultural capital is a long-time prospect that it requires a committed investment of time and resources. It can't be just exhortations and urging people to love each other. That doesn't work. The Black on Black Love campaign, these are all noble efforts, but they're simply too shallow to dig deep enough to affect our behavior. And we need that kind of capital because we were diverted from acquiring cultural capital because, as I say, we were stripped of our ancestral heritage when we came here, and we were absolutely without refuge and sanctuary. We were forced to create an ad hoc culture, a soul food culture, essentially. Chitlins and all that, because we didn't have any alternative, and so we made do with what we had, and we did great things with it. But certain things clog your arteries. Certain cultural practices inhibit success in our behavioral repertoire. And so, if we had that kind of ad hoc culture, we need an opportunity to develop a stronger sense of culture. We were socialized for dozens of generations. We were socialized.
Go ahead, Charles.
Salim,
Yes.
it's Charles. Didn't we have a cultural capital in the 20s, 30s, and 40s? Didn't we have that in Bronzeville? I'm talking about just Chicago now, or even in New York City with the Harlem Renaissance and the Jazz Age. Did not we have cultural capital?
We had some of that, Charles, but a lot of times we romanticize that era, as because it's nostalgic, and the haze of nostalgia gets in our way sometimes from being analytical. Du Bois in 1899, he wrote a book that talked about this lack of cultural capital. That was in 1899.
But that was 1899. What about 1920? The 1920s.
Well, 1920s, jobs opened up. The World War I took away a lot of white people, and they needed black people to work in the factories. The same with World War II. That's why black people are here in Chicago. The only reason we're here in Chicago is because that industrial vitality attracted black people, and we had jobs.
But did we have cultural capital at the time?
Yes, we will always develop cultural capital if we have the opportunity. If we are afforded the opportunity to accumulate economic capital and organically create the kind of communities that reproduce that kind of success. But without jobs, we don't have any foundation for the development of that kind of capital.
Salim, let's go to the calls. Jay.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
When I was thinking about this, there's always a subliminal message in the video games and the TV that promotes this violence. I ask anyone, if you ever took driver's ed, when you got out that simulator, what did you want to do? You wanted to drive. If you sit in front of a game 4 and 5 hours trying to master how to kill something, what do you want to do? You want to act that out. That is where the fascination of these guns come from.
Thanks, Jay. Ron, you're on the Talk Chicago.
Hey, look here. I've been listening to Salim since he's been on the radio station. One thing I realized, I never equate verbosity with intelligence. That crap that he's talking about, that quote. Charles kind of went there. Can you hear me?
We can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah, but see, we've had that. But see, here's the problem. I look around, and
people that I know whose family that come from slavery and stuff. But you know what? Who take care of their family, do not get on drugs in spite of all of this. They overcome. See, here's the thing. We don't want to face this. There's a subculture, and I can see that it was contained in public housing. But
Thanks, Ron. We got to keep going with the calls. I appreciate you. Let's go to Aaron. You're on the Talk Chicago. Aaron, 30 seconds. Okay, goodbye, Aaron. Art, 30 seconds. 30 seconds.
What's going on? Yes. First of all, the other callers heard me say, I love Celine, but that cultural capital stuff is ridiculous. You know, me and my family has been born on Mars because my mother and father had 8 children. I have 4. Bottom line is you all allow society to raise your children, to take women out of the homes, took your men out of the homes. You went along with society, and this is what you got at the end of the day. That cultural capital stuff is another intellectual masturbation of bull crap.
Thank you, Art. Okay, Celine, you got to close.
Let me speak to that. So what these brothers are talking about is exactly what I'm saying. Cultural capital. What Charles was saying about spirituality, what Art is talking about, discipline in the homes, all of that is an aspect of cultural capital. I don't see why we reject this notion, because everybody is actually speaking of it in their varied ways. When Europeans were devastated by World War II. What happened? There was a Marshall Plan implemented. No one told them to pick themselves up by their bootstraps, to deal with their own communities. They were given actual capital currency transfers, money, resources in order to build their societies back. That's the only way you can do it. And we can talk about the romanticized idea that we can create this kind of cultural capital from scratch, but it is not a human experience. It's not something that history teaches us is doable. We need to have these kinds of resources in order to develop the cultural buttress we require to resist all of these negative images, to transform our toxic environments that so many children are growing up in into environments that are loving and supportive, and that produce the kind of behavioral traits that encourage success.
Brother Salim,
that's the only way it's going to happen.
Brother Salim, I do not know where this half hour goes, but it is always honor to have you on the live line. Until next Monday, 7 o'clock, we will see you then. Ladies and gentlemen, you are tuned into the Talk Chicago, 1690 AM. It is 7:30. Up next, Robin Kelly with today's Homegrown. We'll be back.
The Talk of Chicago and the voice of the nation.
All right, man.
1690 WVON, Berwyn, Chicago.
Are you thinking about the perfect Father's Day gift? Well, it's real simple. All you have to do is shop where he likes to shop. Dress to Impress. Now through Father's Day at Dress to Impress. All skin shoes from Meslon, Mari, Belvedere, and David Eaton are 30% off. All loafers and driver shoes are 2 pair for $100. All premium and tailored suits at Dress to Impress.
Hey, what's up, bro? How you feeling, boy?
Right on time for the summer.
Find my seat.
Yes, sir. How you doing? How are you? Big savings of 30% off on all linen sets, linen pants, and linen shirts in honor of dads at Dress to Impress.
So you'll sit there, Sheldon, and then we'll put the comments from over there.
Bow ties, straw hats, Kango hats, and all cologne are 30% off. And if you're pressed for time, pamper dad with a Dress to Impress gift card. And remember,
All right, so talk to me. What we got going on? Right. Are you? But you running the program, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm on the Dovetail Project.
Talk to me.
So it's a fatherhood initiative for African American fathers between the ages of 17 and 24. We have got our largest class graduating this Thursday at Goodman Theater, where we teach young black dads between the ages of 17 and 24 parenting skills, life skills, and felony street law. When they complete the program, they receive a job, a GD, or a trade, along with a $300 stipend.
A trade? What kind of trade?
So we get all our trades through CCC, and we also work with a construction company called Arco Murray. So, I mean, it's anywhere from carpentry to welding to plumbing.
Do they get union? Are they union certified once they're done?
This all morning. You been listening?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, we've been talking about what to do to save these youngsters that are out here doing all this gunplay, and whatnot. idea. And I mean, basically talking about people that you can help.
Yeah.
So normally, how do we do this? Don't we have? This ain't right. This isn't right. So you gotta come over. Let's put you over here. We're gonna put the Congresswoman right here.
Okay. Yeah, you know.
Here, why don't we put you here?
Okay.
And put her there.
Okay.
Can you hear now?
Yep.
All right. Is it too loud for you?
Nope.
Okay, cool. Whew. And then I'm gonna need you to take a hat. This is gonna be your mic.
Okay.
Right. Let's do this. You come over this way. And wait, let's see if your chair. See if you can raise your cheeks right here. So see if this will let you up, so whether you can look.
Ooh. Hold on. Here you go. That's it. Yep. So yeah, but we're doing some great work.
Okay.
It's called the Dovetail Project.
Yeah.
Why do you call it that?
So dovetail means to bring things together. So we bring together fathers and children. So we primarily only work with fathers 17 to 24 who are African American. And we work with them on the south, west, and far south side. So we have a location in Roseland, Jackson Park, and West Garfield Park.
How many, bro? How many?
How many graduates?
How many? Yeah, how many is them? How many? First of all, tell me how big the program is. How many people?
So we work with anywhere from 100 to 120 fathers a year. We have 3 program sites across the city. And we work with them primarily.
Hey, Congresswoman, how are you?
How are you?
Welcome.
What's up,
You are on, just so you know, you're on Facebook Live. Okay, so I'm just letting you know, and the camera does not go off. So we on through the breaks. Here, you need to turn it down. I got you. Too loud?
Too loud.
Wait, was that you trying to see? Is that you? I can hear you. Okay. So I need you to take just a half a scoot over. That way. Yeah. I'm trying to get all 3 of you in the camera. Congresswoman, can I get you to scoot just a half so you're not blocked by, right? Just a, all right. Let's see. Okay, yeah, got everybody. All right, we are today's homegrown, and the program is, what is the name of the program one more time? Dovetail Project. Congressional highways. What's the title of specific title of this program? And so just the whole thing is the dovetail. Okay, I thought this was like a specific class, and are we doing this in honor of Father's Day?
Yeah. No, so we do our program twice a year every year. So we do it year round.
Okay, so you highlight that, right? I'm gonna say, you know me, right? Okay.
Twice a year.
And this focuses on dads and dads. Is it children or dads and daughters?
No, dads and children.
Beautiful. Okay.
The event today with the Congresswoman is dads and daughters.
So you've been, if you were listening to the show, we have been talking today Charles was alluding to the fact that we were talking about these, the shootings that occurred at the beach, the 16-year-olds, etc., and really what are we doing to address these projects? Where do we even intersect with these kids that are making these choices? So I think we can segue into the conversation because we were having I would say it was pretty in-depth as it relates to really at what point do we intersect with them? And I think you're saying that these are, the dads are what the age group is what again?
17 to 24.
You know, my question would be, is it too late? Right, at 17 to 24, really, is it too late? We'll save this for on there, but I want you to be thinking about it. Right, that's my point. So, but is it too late? Is a 17-year-old raising is he already down the path? And is the kid seeing, and I mean, we'll talk, we don't have a real frank talk, okay?
Right.
Cool.
Well, I think even more important, we were talking about parenting and how the role parenting plays in behavior, both in terms of whether or not you can get a job.
Right.
You know, I mean, whether you can have work ethic. And how can we intervene with kids that might be written off? Some folks say that it has to start at home with the parent. But what about those that don't really have parents? I mean, what do you do with them? Is there some intervention that has to happen at some point, or do you throw a kid away at 17?
So for me, it was both. It was a household and me going through a nonprofit organization. And I was just like these kids that's out there going through
And you know, my thing is with a job, they talk about a job, but if you don't have the skill set for the job, like I don't feel like a lot of people are not ready. We could create a bunch of jobs. That's my point. Step in the name of love. I know there's somebody breaking out the champagne somewhere. On June 19th, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., WVON, in partnership with the WVON Blue Light Foundation, will officially honor Juneteenth, a historic day of freedom. Tune in Monday, June 19th, from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. with attorney Ernest B. Fenton for our second annual Juneteenth Takeover. Now, Charles, I don't know if you checked out the Juneteenth Takeover last year, but Ernest B. Fenton got down, bro. He had an all-star lineup of guests, and I'm gonna tell you, it was Free Your Mind Radio, and I'm gonna tell you, my mind got free. So I want to encourage all the WVON listeners, make sure you tune in for Juneteenth. Charles, I think that's a day out for us, too. We get to sleep late. You know what, though, man?
Juneteenth, that would be, I would start a fire that day.
Now, that's a fire. Now, let me tell you. Juneteenth, man, you know, this new morning show, trying to sleep late. You know, sleeping late now is 6 a.m.
That's 6 a.m., right?
Like, I'm like, ooh, I'm going to turn off my alarm. I'll wake up.
6 a.m.
6 a.m., I'm like,
Saturday, up at 6 a.m. I slept in.
Charles, so, you know, before we went to break, we were having a conversation with Brother Salim Muwakil. We were talking about the social media question of the day when I said, you know, if you can't go to the beach, where can we go on the south side of Chicago to have a good, safe, fun time? And it led into this conversation about where do we intersect with our young people. Some people said Annette said we got to get them a good job. And Charles said, yeah, we got to intersect with them at social media. And I said, man, you know, I think you got to get them at the house. You got to get them at home, because if they don't come into the workplace with the right mindset, it's going to be an issue. And so, ironically, we have one of my favorite congresswomen in the Black Caucus in the building. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome Congresswoman Robin Kelly along with Sheldon Smith, and they'll be talking about a new well, it's actually not a new program, the Dovetail Project. Now, Sheldon, before we even get started, and I'm gonna come back to you, Congresswoman. Are you just doing this, man? Are we having this program just because it's Father's Day?
No, man. We have our program. We've been running our program since 2010, and we are on the southwest and far south side. So Roseland, West Garfield Park, and over at the Jackson Park Fieldhouse.
Now tell me what the Dovetail Project specifically is. So
the Dovetail Project is an initiative to keep fathers involved, engaged, and encouraged about fatherhood. We work with young dads between the ages of 17 to 24 who are African American, and we teach them 3 things. How to be a great dad, the life skills they need to gain more employment, and how to avoid the criminal justice system through felony street law. And when they complete the program, they receive a job, a GED, or a trade, along with a $300 stipend. And our graduation that's coming up this week will be at Goodman Theater with 42 fathers graduating from our program.
So how many kids have you contacted or reached so far?
So far we've graduated 286 fathers from our program, and the way that we look at that is really a family household impact. So the average father in our program has 2 kids, and he's a non-custodial father. So when you really look at the family impact from a father to his children, and the data continues to tell you when there's a positive male role model involved in his children's lives.
But 286, I mean, I just saw a headline in the Chicago Tribune today that there are 90,000 young people, not all black, but 90,000 young people in Cook County who don't have, well, who are either not working or not in school. And I would assume that a lot of the young people that you contact initially are from that group. It seems like you're just barely scratching the surface here.
Well, I wouldn't say that. I would tell you that those are opportunity youth that you're talking about. But when you pay attention to, again, to family impact, for us, it's not about how many. I can say, oh, we work with 10,000 people, but what is our impact really is? Well, we're seeing a 40% increase of fathers spending more time with their children, them going through GED, gaining employment, and going through our program. We have a 90% graduation rate.
So your program's working.
Yeah, so it's working.
Those you contact.
Yeah, so it's really 60 at a time, right? Because we invest $4,500 per student, right? So for us, in the work that we're doing, I'm not looking at a fast pace of a quick fix, because fixing a household is not a quick fix. When you're building a household, a home, that takes time. So, and starting at those core years with fathers 17 to 24, particularly African American men, and in the African American household is critical.
So how much money has been devoted to the program so far?
So we've probably raised now maybe about $6 million, and we just received a $1 million investment from Chicago Beyond, and then another $100,000 investment, new investment from the Gardner family.
So, Congresswoman Kelly, tell us how you play into this whole thing. Talk to us.
Well, about 1.5 years ago, we started the Caucus on Black Women and Girls, because out of all the over 500 caucuses, there was no caucus that focused on black women and girls. So it's myself, Congressman Yvette Clarke from New York, and Congresswoman Bonnie Watson Coleman from New Jersey. So we do everything for women, by women and girls, and that kind of thing. But with Father's Day coming up, one of my male staff suggested, why don't we do something with fathers and daughters? And that's how this came about. So we will be having a symposium today about fathers and daughters and their impact and how important fathers are.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to the Talk of Chicago, 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my man Charles Thomas in the studio, Sheldon Smith, and Congresswoman Robin Kelly. We're talking about the Dovetail Project, impacting fathers from ages 17 to 24. When we come back, we'll talk about how does this all work together and what's in it for the black people. We'll be back.
More of the morning show with Maze Jackson coming up.
Now, Congresswoman, we got to get you back. We got to get you in the lion's den, right? We know you here today. Now, see, so let me ask a question, because, you know, we had Congresswoman Maxine Waters on, and she, now see, I got in trouble. See, she told us we could call her Auntie Maxine. Long story. Anyway, so my question becomes right now, in the process of all of this resist, fight Donald Trump, Russia, all of this, where does it leave black folks? Like, what are black folks, should we I would say that over the last 8 years, we didn't take a lot out of it because we were trying to defend our president from the racial issues. So we stood down. Right. So now we're moving. We're 4 more years, and now you all are. The party is telling us resist, resist, resist. Can the black community in Chicago and Illinois continue to resist when we have the highest unemployment?
I think resist where it's appropriate, but where we can work with him, like the Democratic caucus, the people that actually are Congress people that meet every week, if he has a great infrastructure bill or is willing to listen to us, we're going to go because, I mean, we have people that need jobs. And we're going to make sure that it's not just his friends, you know, getting the contracts, getting this, getting that, but that black people get contracts. And I don't mean just the jobs on the street, but the other jobs, the financial investment, though, you know, all of like what Luke does or whatever. So, yeah, we're saying resist, but where there can be progress, we want progress. I mean, I'm not, like, when we went in and talked to him, the executive of the CDC went in and talked to him about HBCUs and other black issues. So we're not just going to resist just to resist.
So let me ask another question. So how do you respond when I look at, for instance, the Democratic Party and we look at the agenda, right? Mm-hmm. And it does not seem to reflect the issues that impact. I saw the one line where they said the economic justice, et cetera, that they were going to put in. But even after looking at Keith Ellison and what happened with him, how do you respond to the fact that black folks are not seemingly getting the return on investment for what we've done for the Democratic Party?
Yeah, I mean, I still think there's some level of not being appreciated. I do think that, but also, like even the Congressional Black Caucus, I don't think people can see it from the outside, but we are stronger than people think on the inside. There are votes we've changed, and when it's time, it is amazing to me that we stand together.
How many of them
strong.
Is it now?
49.
49 in the caucus.
Mm-hmm.
That's huge.
I know we thought we were going to have 50, but our person lost in LA. But yeah, and people do stick together now. We are not monolithic at all. You know, like depending if you're from the South or the Midwest or whatever, you know, we represent farmers and NRA, a lot of NRA members depending on where you come from, or you know, people that love their guns and stuff like that. So we're not monolithic, but on the core issues of jobs and health and things like that, we are together.
So did you hear the thing about Bill Maher and the use of house nigga? So, in no disrespect, it seems to me that there is a mindset, a liberal, progressive mindset that has taken liberties with the black community, and that expects us. I think we saw it in the White Women's March. I think we saw it with this Bill Maher. You know, we got to come back, so I'll come back to that. I would just love to hear your take on how white liberals and progressives, are they really our friends? Are we, I mean...
Sometimes people think they know what's good for us.
They know what's better for black, exactly. You are tuned in to the Talk of Chicago 1690M. I am your host, Maze Jackson. Got my main man, Charles Thomas to the right, our musical director, Sonia Escobar, Annette Flanoy in the newsroom. But y'all, I'm telling you, we have some awesome guests in the studio. Brother Sheldon Smith of the Dovetail Project and Congresswoman Robin Kelly. So when we went to break, we were talking about the Dovetail Project, and I wanted to know what's in it for the black people.
Well, I will tell you this: 72% of African American households, 72% of children within African American households are growing up with single parents, right? And our goal right now is not only to hit that number, but to make sure that, when we look across our communities, that we're seeing more of our fathers have the resources and knowledge that they need to continue to stay around and build their families and do everything.
You trying to get them a wife, man? Are you getting them a wife?
Not trying.
Do they get a wife at this project?
It's not even that they get a wife. It's that more so 90% of the brothers that we work with, they have grown up with their fathers in and out of their lives, and it's really played a big effect on them. But they're there at our program volunteering their time to become better fathers and looking for the resources and the answers to keep their families intact.
Charles?
Well, I mean, I think, it begs the question, and that they're having the children, they're fathering the children. Is there any effort at any front to maybe stop that part of the behavior, and not only on their part, but on the part of the young women?
Are you suggesting abstinence as the answer?
Are
we trying to?
You're looking at prevention, right?
Well, I mean, I think you have to ask the question, and I'm just
so
asking.
we look at
I'm a
the
reporter. I ask the question.
The thing that we pay attention to is what's hitting their pockets, right? Because men pay attention to money and things that's hitting
But a
their
lot of
pockets,
them don't
right?
pay.
Right. So I wouldn't say that.
They're not even demanded. They're not even being demanded that they pay.
Well, I don't.
Charles, you're making so. See, Charles is
That's okay. No, let me answer, man. That's right. So it's not about pain. It's about a family being together and raising their children together. And most of the times when you look in a lot of our communities, like the shooting that went on the other day, it's young brothers that's growing up every day who are looking for that example, that piece of hope, that piece of support to guide them through.
But is there any way we can be preemptive about it as opposed to
reactive? Well, once they get in our program, they are already fathers, right? So the best thing that we can do is teach them how to handle their business more. Not they're coming in and they come in and they don't know anything. Our goal is to increase the knowledge that they currently know, because once you know better, you do better, right?
Then you have like the Sean Kemp kind of guys. He's a basketball player who had like 12 kids,
that's not. I mean, our thing is when you look at these dads, they're young, they're African American, they're volunteering their time to be at our program. They're myth busters. They come from all different parts of the city, all different parts of backgrounds. We've never had one fight, one incident, one argument, one shooting, and we work heavily with the Chicago Park District. And all of them know that when the Dovetail Project students come, they're coming to learn, and there's no incidents.
Sheldon, so how is this program funded?
So we get private, corporate, and donors.
So is it funded through the federal government at all?
No federal, city, or state dollars.
So that's a great model. But speaking of no federal, state dollars, Congresswoman Kelly, we have not had a budget in the state of Illinois for 3 years. Well, we're going on our third year. Our social services, fortunately, Sheldon is not relying upon the services by the government. Illinois currently has the highest unemployment for black males in the country. It is worth right, and we are the worst state off for black people in most cases, and they're moving to Texas. What is going on in Illinois, and how do we fix this mess? And did we just get here in 2 years, or is this a critical mass?
No, we didn't just get here in 2 years. I mean, I think that Governor Rauner is not realistic, and it seems like there's certain things that he wants. Unless he gets them, he's not going to entertain anything else. But I mean, honestly, we didn't get here in 2 years. This has been going on for a while now, and we need to do better, certainly. Like if the budget was losing, like people call my office because they're not getting their money from the state, and social service agencies is closed at a time when we need, our nonprofits and social service agencies. I mean, it is absolutely ridiculous, but I was a part of it a long time too. I was a state rep a long time ago, and there was some kicking the can down the road, and I was a part of that because, you felt like you didn't have any other choice. Like there was no money and those kind of things, but as we all see now that we should not have done that, and now we're paying the piper.
So you are suggesting that there were some mistakes made in the past that led us to here.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't all just happen in 2 years. I mean, there's people serving now that weren't here, weren't serving when I was there. So they're trying to, I don't want to say clean up. We all clean up from the past, but that now they're dealing with the problem.
How do we fix it? How do we fix Illinois?
I think we have to be realistic about the money that's needed. Where we're high in taxes in some areas, not high in other areas.
You're in the south suburbs where your taxes
I know.
are.
I mean, believe me, we pay some of the highest property taxes, and education funding is an issue.
You know what? We're going to have you back in the Lion's Den and talk about that because we want to make sure that we give Sheldon the opportunity to close. Sheldon, please tell everybody how they can participate in the program.
Well, they can go online and go to www.thedovetailproject.org and submit the application to get involved. Or they can just reach out and give us a call at the office, 773-952-4255.
And you've got an event today.
Yeah, so the symposium with the Congresswoman is such an honor to be there because I am a father of a daughter, of an 8-year-old daughter, Jada Smith, the 3rd grader.
Look, Dad, go ahead, Dad, give him a plug.
Yeah, my
plug it up. Go ahead.
And it changed me. So I was that knucklehead kid out here running around. And now I have an opportunity to do a lot of great things for others.
Ladies and gentlemen, Sheldon Smith, Congresswoman Robin Kelly. When we come back, news, traffic, and weather, we'll be back. I'm hearing her in my headphones. We got too much. Thank you guys for coming in. And Congresswoman, thank you for being honest and being willing to share on that. Exactly. And it's like the thing it just seems to me is that the war is always to see how loud they can make the black folks holler, right? Because both of the people on both sides are wealthy, so one guy is fighting for democratic values, but he rich as hell. The other guy is fighting to fix the government, and he's rich as hell. And fortunately for you, you have a program that is not, right? And I always think that, we're always, I'm always about the economics. Like, I'm not about the programs, and I'm about how do we create businesses so that, the Ford Foundation is so big because Ford was so successful. So how do we create business opportunities? And, when I saw, and I just want to share this. Did you watch LA 92? Okay, so I want to encourage you to do this. I want to encourage you to watch LA 92, which is about the Rodney King. Right? I want you to watch Congresswoman Waters. This is 100% respectful. And watch what she was saying right then, and then I want you to watch when she's on CNN with the things that she says now, and it's almost like exactly parallel. And it's like, when do we move forward, right? When do we say, okay, this same song and dance is not necessarily working for our community?
Another thing, too, is that we're in a different age now, the post-Obama age.
Yes. I got somebody else in there? Oh, yeah. When she gets through, she'll be fine. Okay.
So now everybody's asking, what's the deal? And they're asking the people like you. They want to know. And y'all got to come up with a plan beyond support the Democratic Party and its Trump-Russia business. Russia didn't make me vote for anybody. And most 95% probably 100% of Americans would say that. And I would believe that 95% of Americans know that. Russia didn't make me vote for anybody. I don't know what Debbie Wasserman's funny. I don't care about no leaks. I know who I voted for, and I know why I voted for. But this is, for the party, it's great. Sanctuary cities, great for the party. I get the demographic part. I get that. Well, what about us? And nobody's dealing with that right now. And they got us talking about stuff that we don't really care about.
Yeah.
And I think as long as black elected officials keep talking about it, the more estranged they become from the electorate.
Well, also, I'm fine with talking about Russia, but don't let that be the only thing we talk about. I mean, I think we have to talk about it, but I also think what happened to the conversation, it just went away about the criminal justice system. Like, we're not talking about any of those things anymore. We're not talking about, and we're not even really talking about infrastructure
we're not
and
talking
jobs.
About income inequality.
So I don't think, and voting rights. That's the other thing, that we're letting this cloud everything, and we cannot do that. So, I mean, you're just talking to you is giving me the impetus to bring this up, because we do meet the Democratic caucus and the Black caucus meets faithfully every Wednesday for 2 hours.
But they meet, and I guess, like, I just feel like the party has usurped our interests. Mm-hmm. So the party interests have usurped black interests. So it's like you go to the Democratic caucus meeting, and then they kind of give the talking points to the black caucus, and then they come spitting back to us some stuff that we ain't even thinking about, that does not reflect the issues. And I mean, I'm gonna tell you, after this election, and I donated heavy to Hillary, for me, and I got my survey back that said, the Democratic survey is urgent, you mail this in by March 15th, and there was nothing on it that spoke to black folks. We talked about LGBT rights, we talked about everything, and I feel like the party is estranging you all from our interests, which is why it's like people get mad at us for asking what's in it for the black people. Like, why would anybody black be mad at a black person for asking what's in it for us? We are confused now that we can't even ask what's going on for black folks without being enemy of the state. Like, man, our communities look like crap, and so I ask because I do everything on the southwest side. You go to Oak Lawn and you like, now wait a minute. Oak Lawn, you think it's not a recession. You think that we are living in an economic boom. And it's like you come over here and it's like we was in a boom, but it wasn't the economic, it was a bomb.
Well, that's the 57 is the dividing line in the South Suburbs. So no, I know, but I will tell you this, that I'm the chair this year of the annual legislative conference. So I will make sure that
you should have us come out and be some speakers. And you think I'm joking? I mean, I would tell you that there are people right now. There is an awakening happening. I like even that Bill Maher stuff. Like watching that, and you like, man, these white liberals think that they can just do anything to us. That was Bill Maher.
No, I know.
Even more important, she was there,
Oh, we're gonna play it.
Okay.
She's got it? Mm-hmm. Okay, so I want Dyson. I want Dr. Michael Eric Dyson's audio. I want Ice Cube's, and I want Simone's audio.
Okay.
Right, like even with your program, and you've got the companies that you work with, are they allowing black guys in the unions, and are they staying, and are those guys working afterwards? Right? Hey bro, but anytime you got something good, then we want to know about it. And you give it to us. This is not my microphone, this is our microphone, right? So a lot of people, like, we hold politicians to the fire, but like if you're doing something positive for the community, then we want to be a part of it. We want to be able to help highlight. You want to bring some of the guys here and have them tell success stories. I'm 100% for that. Okay, right? Anytime you got something, you call us. You let us know. You email me, whatever, and we'll try and blow it up however we can.
Okay.
Okay.
They're concerned about the roof over their head. So when JB said they're talking about some social program, these folks are thinking about
15 minutes.
No, I just want each one of their closing. Like Ice Cube told him that he be getting too close to the line, and then there's a point when he says, like Michael Eric Dyson has a conversation, and he says that. Okay. There's a close for everyone, and Bill Maher just basically tells them he's through talking about it, right? So if you get close to the end of their interviews when he's like, okay, I've wasted, there's a point when he says, I've wasted a lot of political capital on this issue, find that one too. Okay, but really just the closes, where they're saying their piece of why they're upset, and then there's a piece at the end where he'll say, well, I'm through talking about this, or something along those lines. Okay?
Oh, people are paying between 16, 20,000, 30,000 in property taxes. But also in the HF district, they also have voted to raise their property taxes. They care about
But you have to.
No, I know. But also my other thing is, if I wasn't working on what I'm working on now, one of the things is campaign finances for them, because it keeps so many people out. It keeps so many regular, everyday people that care that could be in office.
What am I doing?
And then we keep, thinking because you got a lot of money, you're the best person to be the person.
Ooh, hey, it's yoga, y'all. Let your booty do that, yo.
Thank you very much.
All right, Maze.
You're coming back, right?
Oh yeah.
Please.
Definitely. And I'll see what I can do about
Hey,
it.
man. Good luck to you. man.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Keep up the good work.
Support Carrie. My wife, Commissioner Carrie Steele.
I'm support her. That's
Please.
She's
What?
running again?
Yeah, water rack.
Oh yeah.
It's up.
She knows I support her.
You better, man. The dogs are out. My own private dancer.
I have the redneck.
Huh?
Ice Cube redneck, real quick. 40 seconds, and then a longer 1 minute where Ice is like, I just want to do two things. Why? Sometimes you sound like it, and then he says it's our word.
Start
I can't
that.
have it back.
Start with that.
That's 1 minute. And then with the Eric, he was confusing for me. What do you want from Eric?
Eric was like trying to dance around it, and then
Yeah,
Ice
it's like
Cube.
about 15 minutes.
Okay, don't worry about
Like
it.
at the end, I like in the middle when Bill was like, but it's in the culture.
Yeah, do that.
Like a
Do
little-
something like that.
Okay, so I have that ready for
Let's-
the other.
But the world. You are tuned in to the Talk of Chicago 1690 AM. I am your host, Maze Jackson. Got my main man, Charles Thomas, in the studio. Annette Flanoy, our news anchor, as well as Sonia Escobar, our musical director. Now, when you hear that yoga at 8 o'clock, that means we are in the 8 o'clock stretch. We got less than an hour left. You on your way to work? You got a little less than 50 minutes to get there. Charles.
Yeah.
You know what, man? That Robin Kelly just got up. If you really want to hear the real good stuff on the interview, you're gonna have to go to Facebook Live, because we hit on some of those impacts. I thought we was gonna wake the Lions up.
Well, I think she's going to come back. I mean, she came here to promote this very specific program, which I found interesting because it sounds like Sheldon Smith is doing a very good job with 280, or has helped 280 young men between the ages of 17 and 24 to break the cycle of absentee fathers. He's teaching them how to be fathers. 280 out of how many tens of thousands? Whoa, man! This is a tough road, man. I mean, he spent $6 million to reach 280 kids who I know should have been taught parenting skills by their parents. But we're in an intergenerational mess.
When
right
did
now.
it break?
Oh, man.
When did the parents skip? When did grandma go from being 50 to 30?
Check it out. 35-year-old grandmothers, 35-year-old grandmothers, and when do we recognize what happened to us? And I was asking some old school questions.
You was, man.
Yeah,
you
and,
was.
and all y'all looked at me like, what's your problem, old school?
No,
Here you
Charles.
go again with that old school stuff. You need to teach. Maybe they shouldn't be out here having babies when they're 14, 15, 16.
Charles.
But look. That's the way I'm going to be. I'm going to ask that question every time.
I think that's why we have our intergenerational conversations. I was getting ready to say, I was getting ready to give her an explanation and say, do you watch Blackish? Because if you watch Blackish, then you will be able to understand who Charles is in the relationship to this show, so that they wouldn't get off-put. Because you were sounding very Cosby-esque. You were sounding very Cosby-esque. Now look, man, don't start. I just don't want them, Charles. I just don't want them to be pulling up people from the past, because you want to tell black people pull their pants up. I'm just trying to look out for you, brother.
No, man, I'm just going to tell you the truth, man, that at some point we have to start. I mean, this whole notion that Mr. Smith was almost saying that, well, this is what happened. This is what happens. And somebody, I think on Facebook Live here said, Charles, you need to get in touch with the community. Man, I am in touch with what's right what's right. If you're 17 years old, you can't be somebody's daddy. I'm sorry. You cannot be somebody's daddy. You shouldn't. I mean, you can be somebody's daddy.
That could be the
17,
problem.
but you should be doing everything in the world to try to avoid being somebody's daddy at 17.
Yes, I agree.
It doesn't work.
But don't you think that's part of this politically correctness? Like where we just accept.
Absolutely.
So let me be clear. I was not against you. You know, sometimes it's the delivery, right? So I thought you was just. I just didn't want you to come off as the angry Bill Cosby.
Somebody just right here that, you know, we was having babies at 13, 14, and 15.
That was called rape and incest.
But you know, Maze, I agree with Charles. I agree with Charles because the presence is necessary. I think adults should be adults and they should speak up to things that they see that are wrong in the community. And children expect it. They expect to be disciplined. And when they're not, then there is no respect. And then they act the way they're acting now. I think just the presence of men in the community, I think men coming home from work shows an example to children. Just if they're on your grass, tell them to get off your grass. Just a figure of authority, I think, is necessary. So I agree with Charles. You know, it does sound kind of, you know, like you said, Cosby-esque, but it's true.
I'm not going to accept it. I'm not going to accept it. It's going to happen, of course. It can happen. I mean, physiology says that. But we have to, at some point, take control. We can't just buy into everything the general society gives us.
Right, because they got us believing that you're supposed to have, what was it, a mom at 18, a teen mom TV? They got shows where they teach you to be ratchet now.
But don't get caught up in the age, because I think history shows that mothers are young. Mothers are young women. I don't think that that's an issue. I think it takes a village, it takes a family, it takes a community to help young women. So I don't think it's a bad thing.
But we had an agrarian world when we were all living on farms. Yeah, I mean, things were different. But we living in the city of Chicago.
Even in the Chicago, New York, Philly, wherever, young women have children. That's just what happens.
I mean, you know, on Instagram this weekend, I saw a lot of prom send-offs with a lot of pregnant young ladies. And they went all out, the families. And then a lot of the comments were, why are you glorifying this?
I mean,
because it's a baby, and the baby needs support, so why not glorify it? I mean, what are we going to
Wait.
But to go all out for a prom send-off?
Wait. Stop.
Because she has a baby, she doesn't deserve a prom and a send-off. I mean,
no, baby, I think as
I'm just saying that was a conversation.
Oh, yeah, I get it. No, I get it.
Hold on.
In high school and had that one girl or two.
But a lot of
No. Stop. Are we suggesting that a child that is pregnant in high school should be celebrated and have a prom send-off? Are we suggesting that that's... No, I suggest...
No, we're not suggesting that at all. But what I am saying is that if a young woman makes the mistake and she becomes pregnant, and she didn't get that way by herself, it was somebody else who helped her. I think now, as a community, everybody needs to get engaged and take.
Not for a prom send-off. That child.
I'm not talking about
if you had a baby,
graduation, but not a prom.
I'm talking the graduation.
I think I'm flabbergasted. I cannot believe.
Talk about realism. Let's be real about the situation. You can't ignore that it happened. It happened. Now let's deal with it and make the best of it. That person still could have a future if we get engaged.
I think she can have a future, but we not having no $10,000 prom send-off, especially when we're about to have some hospital bills that I gotta pay at the.
You gotta take care of. You got a baby, you gotta take care of.
And we're gonna take care of the child, and we're gonna make sure that she.
We said prom send-off.
Well, we're not talking about that anymore.
Yes, we are. No, that's what we talking about. We said that you talked about a prom send-off. Here's what I'm suggesting. I don't think that it's wrong. I don't think that a child that's having a baby out of wedlock in high school should be celebrated. I'm saying that the child should be supported, but that's not a celebration. And so we can wrap our arms around them and be supportive of the child, but that is not what we want to hold. That's not what I want to hold up to my kids. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you are tuned in to the Talk of Chicago, 1690 AM. We got to go to traffic and weather. When we come back, we'll continue this conversation.
More of the morning show with Maze Jackson coming up on the Talk of Chicago.
Okay.
Just political correctness, man. You when we, oh, you have a baby. Yeah, that's fine for us, but it ain't fine out in Naperville. It ain't fine out there with, it ain't fine.
I mean, what I'm saying.
You know,
so, but look at our neighborhoods. So we keep accepting everything. They be like, ooh, do this dumb stuff. We be like, yeah, we can do that because the regular society do that. But they got money. They got a whole infrastructure. Let me just tell you, you don't see no. I'm not saying that there aren't pregnant white girls in schools, but they ain't saying, yeah, let's have a prom send off for them. You know, that's crazy. That's crazy to me, man. We done. It's like we can't support.
More men got a baby mama than a white. More men got a baby mama. Man, come on now. Man, you can't. That's not a good situation.
Right.
Not a good situation.
It's like
I understand it's gonna be guys with baby mamas. I get that.
But we should.
We just like accept it like it's baby mama. You ain't even thought about marrying this chick. Ain't even thought about it. They ain't even on the radar.
Marriage?
Get out of here.
Rabbit?
Come on now.
I'm just telling y'all. Y'all keep y'all grubby kids away from my kids. Cause I want my kids to be asking about, man, it's like we keep buying into this whole premise that America tells us that's like that whole Black Lives Matter and the gay stuff. It's like they're pushing all of these agendas. Black folks buy the agendas, and then it just drives us off the cliff. Yeah, I got to leave here and go take my boy to camp. I'm excited for him. He's going to overnight camp.
Basketball camp?
Yep.
You got it in Wisconsin, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to be safe. Be safe. It's going to take you a minute.
About an hour and a half. 2 hours. 2 hours.
Well, I'm just going to take you a minute to, you got to go pick him up, right?
Straight up.
No, well, you know, it's going to take you more than 2 hours.
Maybe 3.
If you go through O'Hare, man, that traffic going to O'Hare at this time of morning is outrageous.
Really?
Yeah, it's going to take you 2.5. Hey,
Siri. How long will it take me to get to Madison, Wisconsin?
Oh, Madison? It's going to take you 3. This time of day? From here? It's going to take you 3 hours.
Why not 294?
Maybe faster. I don't know.
Like, I would just go west, take 294 all the way, circle over.
And go up 30. You know, like 39 goes into Madison, right? Is that right? Through Rockford. I don't know, man. That's there's a lot of the construction up there is also a pain. I don't know how it is. I know it's taking me 2 hours, 2.5 to go to Wisconsin Dells. Oh shit, don't tell everyone where he's going. You're right, Carrie. I shouldn't be doing that. I forgot. Carrie's got your back. You know that, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you knew that. You see, like I said, you gotta score some Harolds on up there, man. Bring us back a 2-piece.
Hey, Rego Babo. You are tuned in to the Talk of Chicago, 1690 AM. I am your host, Maze Jackson. Give us a call, 773-591-1690. I got my co-host, Charles Thomas, Sonia Escobar on the wheels of steel, and Annette Benoit as our new news anchor. Now, coming up later on today's show, we'll be giving away a pair of tickets for one lucky winner to go see Chrisette Michelle, Melanie Fiona, and Soraya live. Stay tuned. So, Charles, last week we had Ice Cube on the show, and we talked about Ice Cube going on the Bill Maher show. Did you get a chance to catch the Bill Maher?
Yes, I did. I watched it, and I thought Ice Cube made his point, and he made it quite eloquently, much more so than the other black guests on the show that night.
Yeah, Charles, it was three. So he had three guests. He had Michael Eric Dyson, Simone. What's Simone's last name? Simone Sanders. Simone Sanders, who was the black girl who was the spokesman for Bernie Sanders, and then Ice Cube. Charles, I was a little disappointed in Michael Eric Dyson. It felt kind of like he was trying to keep his job.
Well, he didn't want to not be uninvited to the show in the future. I got that sense too from him. He was kind of treading lightly around Bill Maher.
I mean, he said all the right stuff, but he didn't say it directly. He was kind of like, well, if you could, I had, but Brother Bill, that you need to, what you missed was, and Bill just pretty much was like, you know what, I'm through talking about this.
Yeah.
Then Simone came on, and she was one of the panelists, and she didn't really get in. They pretty much played her. They just ignored her. But then Ice Cube came on. Sonia, do we have a clip from Ice Cube? Let's go to that.
Just want to know two questions. What made you think that it was cool to say that?
That's one question. I just explained. There was no thought put into it. Obviously, I was telling Dr. Dyson, comedians, they react. And it was wrong, and I apologized. And, more than that I can't do.
I accept your apology.
More than that I can't do.
I still think we need to get to the root of the psyche, because I think it's a lot of guys out there who cross the line because they a little too familiar, or they think they too familiar, or it's guys that, you might have a black girlfriend or two that made them some Kool-Aid every now and then, and they think they can cross the line, and they can't. It's a word that has been used against us. It's like a knife, man. And you can use it as a weapon, or you can use it as a tool. It's been used as a weapon against us by white people. And we're not going to let that happen again by nobody, because it's not cool. Now, I know you heard it's in the lexicon, everybody talking, but that's our word now. That's our word now. And you can't have it back.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ice Cube. That's right. O'Shea Jackson
in the game.
Speaking truth to power. Now, Charles, did you hear, though?
But
more than that, I cannot do. I can apologize. I'm with Ice Cube.
More than that, I cannot. Well, I guess he's right. I mean, there is nothing more than he can do to then apologize. What else can he do?
Charles, is there more that we can do? How? Let me just ask a question.
We're going to demand that he be taken off television?
I don't, Charles, I don't know.
What else you going to do?
Charles, maybe we do. Maybe we tweet. Maybe we do something. But Charles, this just, I feel like the Bill Maher was the white liberals getting the pass to call us niggas.
Yeah, and I think...
Excuse my language.
And I think to a certain extent, Michael Eric Dyson's very mild, or relatively mild compared to Ice-T reaction to this, sort of did say, you don't have to worry about losing your job, Bill, but don't do that again. But he was mild with it. In fact, a couple of our Facebook commenters called what Michael Eric Dyson did dry cooning.
Dry cooning, Charles, and
that's a new one on me. I just heard that.
And to the WVON listeners, you just heard me use the word, right? and now you're offended? You mad? You gonna call up here and
What's
say,
that?
I said the N-word on the air?
But Maze and Charles,
But-
let me ask you a question.
Can I just finish this real
Can
quick?
I ask you a quick question? Go ahead.
Yes,
I'm
you
sorry.
can. If you're willing to call up here and tell me about what I just did and what I just said, are you willing to take the same action with HBO and Bill Maher? Have you tweeted? So before you call up here and tweet because you was offended that I just used the word, they just gave this white boy a pass. Annette.
He got a pass. Okay. Well, what does it mean that in our music we use that word all the time? And now our music is mainstream. Our fashion is mainstream. Our culture is mainstream. Our beauty is mainstream. People are copying it, and they're comfortable with it. So they're blasting it in their cars, and they're singing the N-word when it comes in the song. When they're at the frat parties, they're playing, and they're singing the N-word when it's in their song. So now they want to be cool like us because we put it out there.
But we're not like everybody else in this country. We have a very unique circumstance. And I think Ice Cube, when he said it's been used as a weapon against us, a knife against us, and therefore we are taking that word and we are appropriating it, and you don't get to use that.
But we get to use it for each other.
How about this?
We
To
get to
each
use
other. I
it.
get to call you that. You get to call
It's
me that.
a
and
tool.
we get
It's
to do
something we use, he says.
I think this. I think that there was a time in my life where a white boy would not be comfortable to use the word in front of black folks because he thought he was going to get the brakes beat off of him. Now, there was a time when they could use it in the old South and they could shoot and hang and lynch us. But there's been a time in the modern era where you use that word and you know you're going to get a whooping. I feel like white liberals are no longer fearful of the consequence of what happens to black folks. And so I don't care. Let me tell you, because I know all my friends listen to all the same music, and I know some white friends that probably know all the N-words, but when they come around, guess what they do? They don't say it when I'm around. They know not to. They might sing it all day in their car, but they know better than to sing it in my presence. And now they're willing to put it in your face and put it in your presence.
Well, you know, I think a lot of it has to do with where we are in history. We are in the post-Obama era. And they said, racism is over now that we've elected a black president, so everything goes. And I think that's the whole white liberal approach to life these days. That's why they don't care about any of our issues
They
anymore.
say they was good. Obama made them good. They supported Obama. Ladies and gentlemen, you are tuned in to the Talk of Chicago, 1690 AM. Give us a call, 773-591-1690. We'll be back.
Live from the WVON newsroom. Here's our news now.
77 degrees going into the mid-90s. I'm in Illinois, and here's what's happening. A crash involving a school bus and a motorcycle in the Roseland neighborhood tops our news. Police say 9 people were hurt. The driver of the motorcycle critically injured. Hurt her 3 adults.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are tuned in. Man, I'm just saying, I believe that white liberal, I believe that Bill Maher basically communicated to Ice Cube, to Michael Eric Dyson, and to Simone Sanders that he was done addressing the issue. I also heard for every white person that screamed out during the monologue that was like, "We love you, Bill," I felt like he might as well have been saying, "F you Negroes." And then the fact that he went on to do jokes. He thought that he could put that Trump's comments out-trumped what he said, really just made me feel like he was disingenuous. So, should we do anything about Bill Maher? Or is it all good? I mean, I'm with y'all. But you know it's going to be more white folks saying Negro on TV. He wasn't a Dixiecrat. Exactly, Amina. He was dismissive, like a mug. All right, who's out there with us? Let me see who we got out here watching and rocking with us. Alrighty. Have y'all taken a moment to share the broadcast? Please take a moment, reach over there and share the broadcast. Bam. All right, Edward Muhammad. Let's see. Southside, no prom send-off. You should be ashamed. I'm about to go ahead and go to some of these calls. Did you give her your choice?
No, I didn't. She's gonna come up with something wonderful.
Sonia!
She's gonna do something wonderful.
What up, John Rembert? I'm through watching Bill Maher.
And I was through some time ago.
I'm through with Bill Maher. I mean, we enjoy watching this show, man. What up, Yolanda? What up, Ebony Tillman? What up, Carol Starks? Bobby Q, Keith Harris. Keith, we're gonna get you on for the strikeout tournament.
You got something?
What up, D.S. Sanders?
No, you got it.
Martin Williams, Amina, Patrick Brutus, Randy Daniels, Kang, Tammy Matthews, D.S. Sanders, Yolanda Yodio, Jacob Israel, Randy.
Man, I gave up on Bill Maher a long time ago. I'm tired of hearing all that tripe, man. I'm just sick of it, man. Just sick of it totally. I'm sick of it locally. I'm sick of it. I'm just sick of it, man.
All right. What up, Sean Rice?
Man.
What up, Sean? What up, Martin? Keith Rowland? Tammy Matthews? Raymond Hubbard? Everett Myrick? What's up, man? Everett, I had a good time at the picnic yesterday, man. Nate Williams, Vincent Martin Carruthers, Stacy True, Audrey Tanksley. What up, Chima? What up, Commissioner Steele? What up, Nate? KM? What up, Keith? What up, Jasmine Turner? Felicia Gatewood, all the way from Bolingbrook. Mark Allen. What up, Nehemiah Israel? What up, Yolanda Yodio, Joe Soul? What up, Johnny Kearney? Randy Daniels. The Brook. What up, Jake? Up Israel. What up, Anthony Hancock? What up, Gregory Sane? What up, Yolanda? Salim Muwakil. What up, Queen Sister? Yeah. I'm hungry. What up, Shanika Finley? What up, Sadiq? Johnny Madley.
Is this the Staples series?
Some level capitulate to a level of unconscious privilege, then the rest of us are in a serious spot. Okay, but not here to make excuses. But first of all, the word is omnipresent in the culture. Yeah. So the fact that it was in my mind is, Also, is there part of what you're saying true? Absolutely. Yeah. As I said, I'm just a product of the country like everybody else. Right. But I just don't want to pretend this is more of a race thing than a comedian thing. Comedians are a special kind of monkey, so to speak.
Monkey.
We are.
Monkey. Ladies, as we do every day in the 8:30 break, Charles's Choice. Charles, what was that?
As a stable singers, respect yourself.
Monkeys.
That man, look.
Did he? Monkey.
Like this guy. First of all, man, I don't watch that show. I only watched it because you were hyping it so much, because Ice Cube was gonna be on it, and I watched it, and I got the Cube piece, but the whole show in that whole liberal democratic orthodoxy. I know I sounded like Salim then, but. That whole business where I'm just through with it, man. I'm so through with it, fed up with it. I don't want to hear it, and that's all they talk about on that show. And they never have any really valid, varying points of interests. They always talk about the same stuff, and I'm sick of it because I see it's not really doing anything for black people. It hadn't done anything for us. Those programs and whatever, and that they talk about on there. So I won't be back.
Well, I think no black people should be back because I just feel like Bill Maher was very dismissive of the whole thing, man. He tried to throw Donald Trump up in front of us and say, ha, look at Donald Trump.
No.
He did a whole long monologue and then was like, I'm going to get to the black issue. And Charles, I don't know if it's me, but every time I heard somebody in the audience scream, we love you, Bill, I thought they would say, forget you Negroes. Forget the Negroes.
That's right. That's about right.
Let's go to the live lines and see what the people have to say. Siddiqui from Boston. You're on the Talk of Chicago.
Yes, sir. How you doing?
Great.
Good. Look, let me just say this, that, I get tired of us continuing to try to intellectualize the discussion around using the term nigger. Just bear with me here that, first of all, putting it in context, when lynchings were really prevalent out here, and they would have what is called, I don't use the term picnic, because that's when they used to go and pick a nigger to lynch at a social outing, and take a pregnant black woman and say, cut the nigger, and she'd be pregnant and cut the nigger's belly open and watch the fetus fall to the ground and laugh. And so then, when you talk about Eric Michael Dyson, he had a radio show some years ago. He was trying to saying that nigger was the term of endearment. I called him when I got done. He hung up in my face and said he never wanted me to call the show again. And then Ice Cube, he is a sellout. I'm talking about, this is our word now. Niggas with an attitude brought some of the most destructive material to our community in the history of our community that led to us use this type of terminology. If anything, he should be doing an apology tour. He's got the nerve to bring all that destructive material to our community and then go out and do family films. He needs to do an apology tour and go around and tell our young people, you know what? I was wrong. We were wrong. I apologize for what we do, and we should not be using that term. I'm a grandfather. I just get tired of us talking about whether we should or should not be using it. I don't care about any Bill Maher. He's a white racist.
Thank you, Siddiqui. Charles, you be having your cousins call up here, man. First of all, Siddiqui, I respect your opinion.
On behalf of all the grandfathers in this country, in this world, thank you, Sadiq. I mean, you bring it, and I wish you were here a few weeks ago when we had another one of those icons on the air, and I raised the question about regret. Anyway, man, look, leave it alone. Let's
go to Vanessa.
To the next call.
Well, let's go to Vanessa on the live line. Vanessa, you're on the Talk of Chicago.
I got two things. Quickly, the one about the prom thing. No, we should punish these. We should shame them. I'm tired of being rewarded for bad behavior. It's bad behavior. Those girls know what they're doing. They can get pregnant. There's a 50% chance they'll get pregnant if they're having sex. Stop rewarding bad behavior. Stop giving them baby showers. Stop giving them Section 8. Stop giving them food stamps. Just stop. Maybe they'll stop that bad behavior. And the guys, too. No one should be having any sex until they're at least 18. No one. Okay. And then the other one about Bill Maher. I saw Bill Maher. And I watched Bill Maher because I think some of the interesting political discussions and things like that. But like I said before, white liberals are more dangerous than white conservatives because you think they're on your side, but they're not.
Thank you, Vanessa. And I think that's what we are getting to the bottom of right here on this station. So many times these people come out and tell us that they're for us, but they really are for their own agenda, and we have nothing to do with it. We just become the pawns. Donnell, you're on the Talk of Chicago.
How you doing? What I want to talk about is basically the context in which Bill said the word. I'm not like it was a problem with him saying the word, but for Bill Maher, a white man, to say that he would be, if he said house slave, it would still be just as offensive. It's the context in which he used it. Oh, I would have been a house slave. No, Bill, you would not. You would have been Leonardo DiCaprio. You would have been Candyland. No, you would not. So you tried to make a joke out of being black tragedies. You would not made a Holocaust joke on your show.
Man.
No, you thought it was okay to make this slavery joke, which is unacceptable.
There it is.
And as soon as it happened, I'm so tired of black people always turning around and saying, oh, if we don't use it, maybe they'll stop using it. Or if we wear our pants this way, maybe the cops won't stop killing us. How come we just can't call people out for the BS that they do without turning the knife on us?
There it is, Donnell. I can honor that. Let's go to Al. Al, you're on the Talk of Chicago.
Yeah, I don't normally agree with Siddiqui, but this time I agree with him 100%. I was just looking at YouTube, and maybe you should tune into it with a discussion with Calvin Butts and Ice-T, and him justifying the use of the N-word and the derogatory terms used toward women. And this was in 1998. And here we are in 2017 going through the same discussion, and then we wonder why our neighborhoods are the way we are.
Dan, 45 seconds. Dan? Come on, Dan from Dalton. Come on, Dan, you the man. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, you are tuned in to the Talk of Chicago, 1690 AM. We are wrapping up this discussion on Ice Cube, Bill Maher. I feel like Bill Maher was pretty dismissive, and I don't really feel like he gave us an apology. I feel like he came on because HBO said, the Negroes are upset. You got to do something. But I don't think he really meant it. What do you think? Give us a call, 773-591-1690. Post to Facebook, and we'll be back.
More of the morning show with Maze Jackson coming up on the Talk of Chicago.
Okay. Let me do this. What am I doing?
Oh, man.
Oh, Charles, I'm sorry. You got the camera, bro. I'm sorry.
What, you put me on? You put me on, man?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
You put me on, huh? Yeah, man. Everybody is, get rid of the HBO. That's right. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it anyway. I don't want to read or hear it anyway. I got better things to do. I don't like Bill Maher because he's an atheist. I'm not an atheist, and I I don't like to do it because of that. Number one. I mean, my wife and I, we turned him off. We turned him off a long time ago because of that. And I don't like the way he treats Christians, Muslims, Catholics, you know, anybody who believes in anything above and beyond man. He does not. You know, I think he's offended everybody. So, yeah, so I know that Mary and I, my wife, we have looked at him. What did you just say?
Okay.
And turned him off a long time ago. I don't care nothing about his guests and all that, again, what I call liberal democratic orthodoxy. Everybody got to believe in their, they're making millions of dollars. He makes millions of dollars, but he's for poverty programs for the rest, for everybody. As long as he's making his millions, he's cool. Nope. Mm-mm. Yep, that's what an atheist does. I can see the devil on his show. You see him lurking around in the background. See him, there he goes, there. Yeah. No. And if he has a bunch of atheists watching him, then if that's what he's talking to, then he's not talking to me. But you know what they say, the devil's a liar. He always screws something up. He always screws something up. No, that not everybody, Chappelle. Not everybody's out for that money. Not everybody's out for that money. There's some out there that ain't out for that money. Ooh. Social Christians. Yep.
Why you do? Why I'm all up in your grill trying to get you to a hotel. Must be a football coach the way you got me playing the field. So give me that woo-doo, beep beep. Hands through my throat, bouncing on 24s. Sitting and ready, it's a remix to ignition. Hot and fresh out the kitchen. Mama rolling that body, got every man in here wishing I'm pooping on whooping rum. I'm like, so what? I'm drunk. It's the freaking weekend, baby. I'm about to have me some fun.
You know what I'm saying? You do.
Well, against racists. Yes.
Sometimes you sound like a redneck trucker.
No, I don't.
Yes.
No, that
yes,
I gotta.
you do.
No, I don't. That yes, I gotta push back on.
All right, it's my
ladies and gentlemen, Ice Cube on the Bill Maher Show. We were discussing that, but before we get to it, you know what, Sonia? Lucky caller number 3. Now is your chance to win a pair of tickets to attend the Country Club Hills concert series featuring R&B singer-songwriter Chrisette Michele, Melanie Fiona, and singer Soraya live at Country Club Hills Theater June 17th at 7 p.m. Caller number 3. Now I'm going to go to the calls, Charles, because we have people on the live line. Dan from Dalton. Go ahead, brother. Dan, I'm trying you twice. What you got? All right, let's go to Janice.
Pay his phone bill.
Janice, you're on the Talk of Chicago.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Okay, I'm good. I have a totally different spin on this thing.
Okay.
First of all, relationships are dynamic. They are always in the process of change and negotiation. My responsibility is to let Bill know that he stepped on my toes and take it from there. Secondly, I'm not looking for everybody to define who I am and that everybody's got to apologize to me. I know who I am. And let me tell you that I have used the N-word a couple of times myself, and I didn't use it affectionately. I want you to get that.
Are you black?
I am very black.
Okay, well, you get a pass.
And back in the 70s, there was the B word that was being used by a lot of my gay friends. I made a decision then that you couldn't call me that, but I stopped referring to myself as that as well. What's important to me is that I don't go around calling myself the N-word and expecting everybody else not to. I don't participate in it. That's it. And the other side of that is that, of course, Bill Maher grew up with white privilege and has some racist residue. He's supposed to. But when I don't admit that I don't have that myself, that I don't correct it within my own self, and I'm running around expecting people to give to me what I don't even give to myself, then I'm the one who is kind of wrong on this issue.
Thanks, Janice. I think you just gave the perfect definition of President Obama's term for black people. We didn't ask for nothing from him, and now we expect something from somebody else. Let's go to Evan. Evan, you're on the Talk of Chicago.
Hello.
Hello, Evan. Go ahead. You're on the Talk of Chicago.
How are you? Good. Thanks for putting me on. I listen to you every morning, and I'm a white guy.
Hey.
And
I'm a white guy. Where do you listen from?
Station one day and start listening to it because I think it's good for me. I want to hear what everybody's thinking and how people are feeling, especially in this climate, this racial climate. Things are a little crazy, but I just want to make two comments. First comment is, I hear a lot like white people want this, white people don't want black people to have this, and as a white guy, it's a little offensive because me personally, I don't have anything against black people. My family's Irish. We came over a little later, and we suffered a lot of prejudice. Nothing near what y'all did, of course. However, I didn't have nothing to do with none of that. And currently, I bear no ill will towards anybody. And as a matter of fact, what I believe is that it's not about white against black. What they're playing us, it's really about rich versus poor, the people who have the money and the people who don't, and they keep power by keeping us all separated and making us believe that we need to be hating each other. And to me, that's what is really going on. And I'm just going to say, like, anybody who falls into that, like, I think they got to look at the bigger picture here. And I'm not saying that there ain't white racists, because there sure is. I mean, there's got to be a whole hell of a lot of them. But I ain't one.
But Dan, this is Charles.
Evan,
Let me ask you something.
Evan.
Evan, I'm sorry, Evan. Yeah. Did you?
And you can go ahead. I'll take my comments off the air here.
No. Listen. Is there any way you feel you have an advantage in society because you are white?
Oh, absolutely. It's a real thing. It's true for sure. But I think that's going to be true anywhere where the majority rules. If you're in China and you're a Han or whatever, there's so many ethnic groups over there. If you're the majority ethnic group, I'm sure that they have privileges. And I mean, I'm not saying white privilege is right or is wrong or whatever. It is what it is. But
is there anything you can do?
So should we stop talking about it? Should we just shut up?
We should just shut up and just accept it, and that you're going to be the boss and I'm going to be the...
Well, I don't see why it needs to be that way.
It works out that way.
I'm fine with that. Like, I don't care who the boss is.
I do.
Who needs to be the boss? Well, I mean, look, I grew up real poor. I didn't have nothing. We didn't have any food in the house. My mom called me from, hey, what you want for dinner? Your dinner, a good dinner for me when I was growing up was the gas station sandwich out of the cooler. Like, I didn't have white privilege. Maybe now I got that. I have it. I mean, it's real. It's there. But I'm definitely not saying you guys need, or black folks need to just accept it or whatever. But as far as I'm concerned, I think that it needs to be everybody definitely on an equal basis.
You know, we don't know.
Can I ask Evan a question?
Sure.
Well, you guys,
Evan,
30 seconds.
Do you think that Bill Maher went too far? Do you, as a white person?
Well, honestly, I didn't see the thing. I don't know what he said.
Have you been listening to us? Did you hear what he said?
I might have came in a little late on that, but
Hey, can I ask you a question?
Guys,
personally? Can I ask you real quick though? Have you ever used the N-word in any discussion?
Hello?
Hello, Evan?
He's gone.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are tuned in.
That is a big
I think that is a big yes, too.
Ladies and gentlemen, as the clock runs out on us, we are on the Talk of Chicago 1690 AM. As we do every day, I have no better time than we are here with the WVON listeners. This show went through the roof. The time is gone. I don't know where it went, but we'll be back tomorrow. I am your host, Maze Jackson, for Charles Thomas, Annette Flournoy, and Sonia Escobar. We will be back tomorrow. It's the WVON Morning Show. Hey, you know, we said a lot of stuff today, and if you don't like it, you know what you can tell them? You can tell them, MazeSaid. We out of here. Peace.
The talk of Chicago and the voice of the nation.
He was up out here.
WVON.
How about this? Thank you. He was
Sessions' proposal, Parliament disarray. I'm John Trout. Attorney General Jeff Sessions offers to testify before the
and he
Senate
said it, but I'm
Committee.
thinking like,
And there's a new man
hey, I'm a white guy.
Trump may
That's a
face
good
in
promo
court.
while you bullshit. I listen to you guys' show, and I'm a white guy.
himself from overseeing the Russia election meddling investigation. However, the White House said he had a hand in the firing of FBI Director James Comey, which President Trump said was tied to the Russia probe. Meanwhile, the attorneys general of Maryland and D.C. are bringing lawsuits against the president over his businesses benefiting from foreign government officials' visits to the hotel.
You might get arty, but you won't get stomach. All right, y'all. We up out of here. Peace. I mean, I got my white privilege now.